Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Link to the Past Randomizer Crosskeys Tournament 2021. We got the brackets round 1 for you today. It's TheBoulder300 versus zelgadissan. This is their second game in a best of 3. Zelga is 1 up, so Boulder300 needs to beat them today to stay in this tournament. Commentating first, we have Clear Mouse and Dazed Cloud, and tracking is Toffile and SayVUX. Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Hello. How are you doing, Dazed?
I'm doing good. Morning to you, evening to everybody else, probably.
Most likely, yes. Yeah, so I mean, I am super excited for this race. As Ricky said, this is a best of 3 at game 2. Zelda is up 1 game, and the Boulder really needs to pull this one out. This is a single elimination bracket, so this for the Boulder is go big or go home type of thing. And of course, Zelda has that nice 1-0 lead, so it's got a little bit of buffer, if it ends up going for on the Boulder's favor today, we're gonna at least us as viewers gonna be treated to a game 3.
Yeah, no, I mean it's going to be kind of interesting to see exactly what goes out of this here. I mean, we are, like you mentioned, we're in the bracket stages here. We went down from 168 racers down to the top 16. And man, this is going to be a great race, and we're going to see if Boulder can force a game 3 here and see if Zelga moves on. We're both starting today in Link's house, and we're going to get a small key to Skull Woods, which, okay, that's fine. It helps your routing a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly does help if, I guess, yeah, it makes things a little bit faster. I think actually in game 1, both of them did start at Link's house, and I think that it was the Moon Pro there. So we actually had no bunny music the entire game.
Oh, well, that's just a shame. You gotta have bunny music in Crosskeys. Come on now.
The Boulder visited Hyrule Castle, found the gamble game, and he does not even have enough money to gamble. Oh my gosh, dude. He needs to go back as soon as he ends up finding some rupees.
I gotta be completely honest, I don't even remember how much it costs to do the gamble game. It's been such a long time since I've done it.
That one, I think, is like the lesser version. I think it's like 20 rupees, and you get, I'm trying to remember, 1, 20, and 50 maybe as the prizes.
Oh, dang. All right. Well, there you are. Well, on the other side there, we had a Zelga go ahead. He started with a more traditional Houlihan spot. Now up there at the Witch's Hut right now, he finds the entrance to Turtle Rock. So he was able to farm a quick 2 bombs out of there. He's got a full magic container as well. Boulder, on the other hand, he started right back in Kakariko there. Immediately finds the Blue Cane out of there, and then finds Sasharala sitting there in Blind's hut today. So quick starts on both sides for these guys.
Yeah, and the fact that Zelda actually, found the big magic pot actually would be really useful actually for Boulder, right? Because he has a Cane of Burna. It actually can be used as a real weapon. Just, as witness from all of the Burna stars that everyone loved from the main tournament a couple, months ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're now sitting here watching Zelga go ahead and pick up a couple of items there. It looked like best thing I saw was a mapped pod. So he's going to go ahead and finish up his Houlihan really fast.
Yeah, it's going to be a very sad on-call and secret passage when the best thing you found was a map.
Yeah, this is one you want to take. You're going to put that in your back pocket for probably about the hour, 20-minute mark when you're like, okay, now I actually need to know which dungeon is which.
I thought there was an agreement by both runners that they're going to finish under 130, so maybe they should do a map check before 120. That might actually be a good idea. That could really help us, because we probably have some other things to do today. Yeah.
As we're going to find out that the lumberjack tree there sitting at Magic Bat today has just got a piece of heart, so that's going to be a whole lot of nothing. Zelga finding Tower of Hera, but not really able to do a whole heck of a lot in it at the moment.
Yeah, this is actually quite interesting, right? Because, Zelga has a full magic bar because he found the front of Turtle Rock, right? The Boulder has the Cane of Burna, but he needs magic bar. He's going to pick up magic right here in Super Money. But actually, yeah, this is going to be a difference, between the Boulder when he goes further. He's going to actually have some options in order to explore Hera a little bit.
Yeah, Zelga kind of going ahead, and he's taken the time to kind of... I've seen this play a little bit more often. This is, from what I kind of see, is this is kind of like the I'm not 100% sure what my opponent's going to do play, so I'm going to cover like the spaces around Link's house and stuff like that, just to make sure that I don't leave something big.
I think yes, that is totally reasonable. And especially in Zelga's position, right? He is up 1 game, so he wants to try and be, let's say, a little bit more aggressive, or he wants to be a little bit more conservative, right? He actually has that option to it. Like his tournament life here is not on the line.
Yeah, very true. As Boulder finds an interesting item there. Now this might, depending on what Zelga does here, I guess he saves and quit and he's going to go to Sanctuary, but he gets the book out of the back of the tavern here. Now you could find yourself walking towards the Lost Woods area here in just a moment, and then going up and checking that pedestal immediately, because that could be some important knowledge.
It doesn't often happen, I think, in Crosskeys. Oh, that was a nice that was a nice bomb drop from the rats. But I mean, if there is something on the pedestal, and like that information is going to be extremely valuable. Zelda also finding a sword here in the back of the scape. He's going to use that sword immediately to go farm up some rats in order, because they look like this.
Blame him at all.
Yeah, it's the bomb prize pack too. It's like, geez, like he is just like all stocked up in resources. And also, I did not realize that both Gamble games were up in Hyrule Castle. It was like the one you find in Lost Woods, and the one I think you find maybe in like South Kakariko or something. So I guess we're just never gonna go back to Hyrule Castle North in order to get more money.
There's zero reason for that. So we found the potion shop though, down at the library real fast there, and going through as well. There was a front of Hyrule Castle there. It looked like Hyrule Castle left down at what we call the Light World archery game there. Zelga right now, that Houlihan is kind of paying dividends for him as he kind of goes ahead and was able to grab a couple of things. He was able to grab the chess game because he had 30 rupees. That didn't really get him anything, but more importantly, when he went to do the bottle vendor, he did get a big key to Skull Woods, so not a massive prize by any means, but like that is something you'd rather have the first time you go there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are a couple of big keys in this game that don't actually, that are not required for, of course, you to beat the boss, but it does unlock a chest. In their respective dungeons, like Skullwood's big key, Ice Palace big key, and especially, in these situations when you go over there, you really, really don't want to come back, just in order to pick up that one item.
Right, and we've got a connector check over here on Boulder's side as he went through the Hyrule Castle connector. I think he went through the middle one, ended up on the top of Dark Death Mountain there. So that's a pretty good place for him to end up for sure. So that's, if he goes ahead and finds himself a mirror, we start thinking, okay, that might be the way we're going for the rest of the, to find items.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, finding especially a Dark World Death Mountain connector super early is really good information. And as you mentioned, once we have the mirror, we can do a heck of a lot more up in Death Mountain, both Light and Dark World.
And Boulder is kind of making his way.
Are we actually gonna go up to Lost Woods? Looks like.
Yeah, I think we might be. We're at least headed in that direction. I'd be almost. Ooh.
Oh, so speaking of connectors that we may not actually want to be taking, Boulder is going to dive right in. He has a full magic bar from Super Bunny, and he has the Canis Mario. So we are going to be able to see what comes after this. Oh, looks like okay. Molders are also dropping bombs too.
Okay. So yeah, we've got some interesting items here to start to get through this. Got some interesting drops from a couple of our enemies, the rats and the Moldorms today, dropping bombs there, both on the bomb prize pack. Only getting 10 arrows out of it, but able to pick up 2 more bombs, which I think is more important at this point.
Yeah, considering that the Boulder didn't Houlihan initially, right? It seems like resources are pretty limited. this spiral cave connector, it was very close where you ended up eventually getting spit out at.
That's one of those where you go, oh, yeah, okay, sure, okay,
yeah,
cool,
I see.
yeah,
Yep.
Zelga going ahead. We did find that small key to Hyrule Castle there a second ago, so that is going to put all of these front 3 chests here into logic. Now we don't have a lamp to go ahead and put Dark Cross in there, but we'll take a quick look. Boulder's showing us that Aga is not going to be required unless these guys really want to get a map.
You know, maybe they need that map for full crystal information. No, I got nothing. I just can't see them doing Aga Tower unless they just really want to, I guess, spend an extra 5 minutes in that tower or something.
Yeah, no, that's not something anybody's gonna do right now. As Boulder finds a dark something
that he is opting to not take. Certainly 100% don't blame him. He is on 2 hearts currently, despite this being in the 1.5 hearts. In the light world, it's not as big a deal, but I mean, you don't know what's in that connector. You don't know where it's gonna spit you out.
As we get a key to Turtle Rock, and Boulder electing not to go ahead and check the pedestal. I mean, it looks like we're probably...
He might end up going back, maybe. He just wants to check Lost Woods drop down. You know, we did find Ganon already, so, you know, dropping down is going to be at least safe. And it looks like, actually, we've got some good fortune finding the well here.
Yeah, no, that's you're definitely right there. I guess we did find that a little bit earlier. So this is actually really good. He might decide to go ahead and like finish his route up there. And instead, he just jumps and goes.
Although I didn't see anything useful in the well. Speaking of useful, though, Zelda, he found the fire rod in Zelda and Zelda's cell. Dang it, Zelda. Which actually, yeah, right, and actually, contrary to, I guess, like non-entrance, you know, there is such a thing as advanced logic in non-entrance, where actually having the fire rod would actually will let you go basically all the way to the back of this cave. It is not a thing in entrance. We definitely still need the lamp in order to get back to logic.
Yeah, 100% there. Yeah, it's we still have to kind of operate on a little bit of an older strain of the logic here. So certain things like that, and yeah, this is what I was afraid of. So when Boulder jumped down from the well there a second ago, he accidentally, I want to say he armed the exploration glitch a little bit.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he saved and quit in the air. Do not save and quit in the air. And so he got himself stuck there. He couldn't go all the way back to Dark Cross here. So he had to wisely ended up saving and quitting before he ended up doing something bad. But either way, everything is good here. It looks like it's all cleared up now. Finds a key to what was that there? Pod in C-shape house.
Yeah, no, early pod keys are always desired. You know, the last thing you want to kind of have happen is that you don't have any keys and you encounter pod, and then, you know, of course, there's always something in pod, right? Considering there's 6 keys out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, and occasionally there's a bow just sitting in the dam that'll make that pod key even better for you to check. Now you got 5 things to check with your key.
Yeah,
so
it looks like it's all completely in logic, right? So that means that we can actually get 2 more checks, as you said, on the Bowlock side, right? So this is the map and ledge chest, I think.
Right, yeah, we'll be able to get basically anything up front we now, and that's kind of the interesting part there, is we find a big cave over here on Boulder. He's the first one to find Paradox Cave it's the fairy cave on the way to the desert.
Yeah, and good thing he found the sword earlier. I mean, imagine having to do with this like bombs to try and kill those mini Moldorms to get out. Is that another pod key?
Yeah, that's another pod key. I mean, it's doable to kill those Moldorms with bombs, but it's not easy. There's a couple of ways you can do it. Like the easiest way to remember is that the Moldorms won't move if you're opening a chest. So if you drop a bomb, the bomb will actually still start working. So if you drop a bomb and then open a chest, the Moldorm will get frozen in place as we get a glove. That's a fantastic thing there, especially where Boulder is, and the hook shot,
and the moon pearl. Dude, okay, so Boulder just hit like the jackpot of Crosskeys. I mean, like we found there are like 4 or 5 like major ticket items that we really want, you know, in the seed. He just found like 3 of them.
Yeah, and then he finds his way over to the Dark Witch's hut here. crazily enough, is going to be able to get his way all the way up to Catfish now within the first 15 minutes of this.
Yeah, and that glove was super convenient, right? Because he got spit out at Dark Witch's shop, but he was just able to lift that rock right up.
Yeah, that's about as quick as you can get there. All right, so funnily enough, I don't think we've seen the back of Sasharala quite yet.
That is true, because the boulder had no bombs in order to get it. He's not missing anything, though, based on what we saw from Zelga's side.
That's pretty dead right there. And so Catfish is just going to have a key to Misery Mire. We're going to file that under the... well, that's nice to have, but, you know, not really a big deal otherwise.
Yeah, I think it saves us like 2 or 3 screen transitions or something for rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's 15, 20 seconds, but I mean, you know, whatever. At this point, chances are you were gonna find one of those anywhere anyway. If we find all 3, then we have to start getting very curious about whether or not what's in the firelocked side there.
Yeah, and outside of, I would say, like, the 2 pod keys, we haven't really found any, I guess, like, nice to have or desire to have keys, right? We haven't seen Swamp, we haven't seen Desert. They're kind of like the keys that you would much rather find sooner rather than later.
Very true. And Boulder deciding to take his big his hook shot and everything, and go ahead to Dark Tank, find Hype Cave on top of everything. I'm not saying that he's found the route so far, but it seems like he might have found the route.
Yeah, he has basically gone through like 3, 5+ item caves in succession, and that was a big key to. Was that Mire?
That was a big key to Mire.
Yeah,
with
after
a mushroom.
our smoky.
Yep. And he got a mushroom in there too, so that'll give him a reason to go up to towards the witch's hut there, where he'll find the front entrance of Turtle Rock. He won't be able to do anything in that, but that's kind of a nice one to find.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he does have Volcano Burden, and it looks like he's kind of low on magic, so certainly not going to be a bad opportunity to kind of refill his resources.
Yeah, so at this point, it's kind of Boulder's kind of jumping out to an early advantage here. I mean, Crosskeys, like Zelga will eventually get his way over to the Paradox Cave here, but it is kind of in the on the way to Desert, so it likely won't be too long. But we'll see exactly how long it takes him to get there.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Boulder picking up the hook shot. You know, you see him hooking basically left and right just to try and get through these screens just a slightly bit faster. And you actually just see him taking some pretty, being very conservative in the overworld. You know, he is only on 2 hearts, blue male, despite the fact that he is a blue Squirtle. And, you know, these moblins, they do 2 hearts of damage, so he really didn't want to get killed, trying to get out of the Curiosity Shop. Right,
the old, I'm on 1-hit KO, I better be very careful about everything that I'm doing today.
I know, and that bomb hitbox, though, is certainly not helping. Good thing he has some extras.
Yeah, if you're on like the wrong sort of pixel there, you're gonna bounce it off the wall, and it's one of the more infuriating things that you can do. Now that blue mail is going to be a big help, plus also that heart container there. So I think Boulder, even though these aren't super important items, he's gonna feel pretty good about it. Now he has to walk all the way back though, thanks to that one berry just being a jerk.
Yeah, that Bari, like, he, I don't know how he moves, like, oh wow, he almost got hurt. But he knows, somehow he knows to just basically float to the exact same right location to knock you off.
Yeah,
that Bombless medallion, though, is actually very interesting, right? Because it can actually let us make some progress into Ice Palace.
Definitely, and that's kind of an interesting thing right there. We've got Boulder going ahead, and that hookshot cave going through that thing took him from the bottom of Bumper Cave to the top of Bumper Cave, which is something that we'll probably need to find later. Zelga, on the other hand, somehow, I have no idea how, I'll ask the tracker on that, found a way up onto the mountain and saved the old man, got the GT big key.
Yeah, and we saw him take a peek what's inside the old man cave, found that it was Eastern Palace, and of course, true to Zelga's form, noped straight out very quickly.
Well, we've got a little bit more to do here. I'm not surprised Zelda decided not to go into Eastern. He's kind of a more of the vocal, I'm gonna skip Eastern until I kind of have to do it there. But we'll see exactly what all works out for him here in a couple of minutes. As we are working through the rest of this right now, and man, there's so much happening on both screens because both of these runners have taken wildly divergent routes through this game so far.
Oh yeah.
I am having a bit of trouble like trying to be like, okay, so where are they now? As we're now in Skullwoods and Thieves Town.
That was actually a pretty clutch hook shot right out. Looks like there was actually a little bit of indecision on Boulder's side before, but luckily he didn't end up getting grabbed by the Wallmaster.
Yeah, no, if you're going to take a death, though, taking a death right about in Thieves Town, not Thieves Town, but Skullwoods is not going to be that bad here because you will just respawn in there. You want to avoid the overworld death like the absolute plague, but so we're going to take a death here, and this is not going to be as big of a deal. Zelga's having to do some dodging around some items that you're not able to see because they're hiding underneath the bridges. And he'll be able to clear out these first basically 2, 3, 4 items here out of Thieves Town. Doesn't look like anything too interesting. Didn't get a Thieves Town map.
Oh great, we're going to be able to know. And a shield, man. Alright, so at least in terms of finding, I guess, like progressive items, seems like at least Boulder has, as you said, taken an earlier lead, basically finding, what was it, Paradox Cave? Because we have the Moon Pearl, we have the hook shot, and what else did we find in there? It was, and a glove.
And a glove, yeah. The Paradox Cave was just a massive, massive find there for Boulder. It gets the flippers then out of this here. I'm a little surprised now. Not a bad idea by Boulder taking the death warp there. If he had bombed the wall though, he could have gotten a full magic. Full magic.
So Zelda ended up finding a Spectacle Rock Cave, got a second key to Mire. I mean, it's Zelda's first, right? But I think it's the second one that we've seen on both sides. That was very nice. Bomb jump over on Zelda's side to make sure he doesn't end up falling down. Ooh, hello. We are on the pyramid.
I don't think that's what he wanted.
That is very fair. Oh, hi. But we can see now in the dark on Zelda's side.
Okay, so interesting. I'm trying to figure out. So we've got a lamp there on the pyramid, and
we also just found our third pod key on the Boulder side. We haven't found pod yet, but I mean, this seems very suspicious that pod might actually end up having something. Especially with that lamp too, right?
Right. So I guess what this game has kind of been asking you to do. So what Zelda is like a step ahead of logic right now. Like he was I believe what he was supposed to have done was to basically do exactly what Boulder did and go through Paradox Cave, come out the bottom. I want to say that was the bottom exit there, as with the dam sitting there over on Zelga's side. That sucker is hiding in the Mire area, which I assume is one of our spawn points for the oh my god, this is Zelda.
Zelda.
You're crazy here, bud. This is well, all right. See if you can do it. Okay, gotta wait.
Looks like he didn't quite get it. No.
Nah, he didn't get hit there.
I mean, thank goodness that Zelda ended up picking up these like random heart pieces along the way, because those Murder-Dactyls do 3 hearts of damage, and he was really just trying to damage himself over, right, in order to get like the Super Bunny entrance, and he wouldn't have been able to do that only on 3 hearts.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was one of those things. This is like, it wasn't quite one hit KO, but he had exactly 1 shot at that to see if it works. Now we're gonna go through, take this slightly out of logic lamp for Zelda, and find that the other side of the cave is back on the east side of Dark Death Mountain, with a desert connector right next to it. So we're gonna put a pin in that. Come back to that one here in just a second once we check these other entrances.
Yeah, there have been actually quite a few number of connectors. Of course, Desert Palace and Turtle Rock are very popular, apparently, as dungeon connectors. And we also do see that, especially when we see something like Desert, we would really like to have some boots if we can, just dash a little bit faster.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice to be able to start moving around here with a little bit of speed, as looks like we're probably headed back into desert over on Zelga's side now. Unfortunately, with Boulder just clearing out the front of Skull Woods like he did just a second ago, he did that without having the Skull Woods big key at the time or having the fire rod, which he just picked up the Skull Woods big key and he's on his way to the fire rod as we speak. So this is going to be a moment of those, come on, game.
This is going to be one of those typical Crosskeys, giving me the items that I wanted 5 minutes after that I was already at the location that I wanted them at.
Yeah, it's just like once you realize that it's going to be an extremely long walk to get back there, that's when you get the items.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, I guess for what it's worth, though, you know, because Boulder's going to pick up the big key to Skull and the fire rod, it's not like those items, those locations are going to be super isolated, right? I mean, if you only, you know, had the fire rod, right, to go after, it's like, when are you going to go back to Skull Woods, right? It is just such a far trek, especially if you don't have, like, boots or something to, like, you know, make your trip over there a little bit faster.
Right, yeah, it's one of those things that kind of gets last location kind of not intentionally, but just kind of out of practicality, because like you mentioned, it's a long time to get back there. Now, I mean, depending on when we get like a regular Dark World access here with like a hammer or our mitts there, that might actually make that less of a problem. But well, we'll see exactly here. I mean, Boulder's had a pretty solid start to the game here. As those desert connectors are just absolute trash over on on Zelga's side there. Until we find a mirror, neither of those are going to be particularly useful. Well, the one over to the pod area is not terrible, but we'll have to we'll have to take a minute to get that to get a mirror and pearl before we do that, as Zelga is heading into Tower of Hera right now.
So he has a no hook shot in order to Hera pot. With that, you know, if he does, I'm pretty confident. I'm sure he knows a boostless Hera pot skip. But in this case, it looks like we're actually going to just get the first couple of chests on this floor.
Right, and
so we're not even going to pick up the compass, of course, in basement cage, and you know, map chest, of course, just has 10 arrows for us, which is, man, you know, Zelda has really not found very many good items so far. Like, despite all of these like new checks that we've had on the side.
Yeah, unfortunately for Zelga, he's going everywhere that's not Paradox Cave right now. So, Paradox Cave is on the way to the desert right now, and that had, like we kind of mentioned for anybody who just joined in, that had a glove, the hookshot, and the moon pearl. If Zelga gets his way over to that, he'll grab pretty much everything he needs really quickly. He's gonna go ahead and steal a key pretty fast.
Certainly very reasonable, right? Because he found the front of desert and it literally had like nothing, right? Not even good connectors, of course, in order to be paid out. You know, this is actually, I think, I want to say like fairly common in Crosskeys, right? Because chances are you all actually eventually end up stumbling upon the other small key anyway. And plus, like, we know that there are going to be two chests locked behind that small key.
Right, and Zelga getting.
Oh no!
He's gonna no. He's gonna come back. He's just gonna go check the vanilla eastern entrance and then probably come right back. It's okay. So that's the right entrance of Hyrule Castle. There is going to take you onto the TR Bridge, which is also going to be the Dark Descent Cave. I want to say there. Yeah, that's the Dark Descent Cave off of Death Mountain on the other side. So that's one place that it's good to know, because when we come back here with a mirror later, then we can actually get like Mimic Cave and Spiral Cave. Now Boulder got to be a little careful through this next part, because it's not easy. Okay, that was a pit that he walked into there.
He's almost through, I think.
That's another pit.
Let us wish him the best of luck, because dying here is really not fun.
Yeah, he's through now. Yeah, he's gonna make it through just fine. But yeah, that got a little hairy.
Oh, hi. Okay, so we can't end up getting that one because, you know, we don't have a cape and we don't have a second sword, but at least we can take a sneak peek as to what's here.
And yeah, that's gonna be a save and quit there, because I mean you could pick up on the fairies, but then you pretty much have nowhere else to go. So yeah, I'm gonna quick save and quit and just figure out something else there. So up to him to decide what he needs next. Zelga's gonna be very happy to find all of these items here in just a second, because he's not. It's not like he's behind by any means. It's just there's a few things that he's gonna pick up real quick. Boulder's been able to clear North Dark World, which found a couple of things there, but really not able to like capitalize on anything.
Yeah, and so far, it doesn't actually seem like the Boulder is really chased. I guess like say like Lovelock locations. He's still just kind of making his like first like overworld type of like Sphere 1-0 type of chucks. So we have to get to see like the real benefit of these gloves. But speaking of though, it looks like he's gonna try and Herapod his way up with that hook shot that Zelda didn't end up having when he was here.
I'm very nervous for his sake, because he just picked that bomb up in the air. Oh yeah, that's right,
in the air. the air does not seem to be Squirtle friendly, right? Because he tried to also save and quit.
Yeah, he's worked it now. Yeah, he picked up the bomb in the air, so he's not going to be able to do it. He's going to try again. Same result's going to happen here. Now, Zelda picked up all of his goodies here, and he's going to continue on his way over to the desert area in just a sec.
Yeah, speaking of, though, we have not seen this yet. Okay, so it just looks like it's like the bomb refill room, which Zelda looks plenty filled on resources, so I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, Boulder is honest, unfortunately, just kind of wasting time here, because he's subpixeled himself by picking that catching that bomb in the air there. So he's got to just basically leave the whole dungeon, and then if he does that, then he can come back in and do it. It's kind of unfortunate for him here. He's just going to give up, though, which is, that's fair, too, because he's getting back here not super hard.
Yeah, of course. And, and of course, none of this is, in logic, right? It's just that we happen to have the hook shot when we happen to be able to kind of go up there maybe to get a free extra chuck or something. But certainly not going to be the end of the world that we can't end up getting something like this.
Right.
Boulder reminding us that Squirtle does in fact have flippers. I don't know if you remember, because he was, I guess, like hopping down, but we're going to get ourselves a hopo check.
Yeah, I don't believe that Lake Hylia Island had anything there. As Zelda picks up his key from the catfish. Yeah, 10 arrows is not something that anybody's going to care about.
Now, certainly for these runner sects, I certainly hope that they do find the mirror sooner rather than later. It really does seem like we found a lot of connectors that would really benefit from the mirror. And of course, the longer you don't have the mirror, right? Just like the more locations you're just going to end up orphaning.
And quick welcome into everybody from coming in from ZeldaSpeedRuns who are watching the T-Stew wall kicks game. As Zelda finding the dam there, finding the mirror in the dam. Big find for him, as he's actually, honestly, he should be back into logic at this point. That is fantastic.
That is an absolute huge find. Yes.
So yeah, this is going to open up a ton for him. Boulder going ahead, finding the brewery, just getting a piece of heart out of that. Nothing too serious on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, Zelda. Okay, I guess the Mire area really is quite the treasure trove over here on Zelda's side, especially when he comes back over here with the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, he'll be able to pick up all of these 5 items here real quick. Goes ahead and gets that. I mean, that is kind of funny. If Zelda was able to pull off that pull off that Super Bunny and did get the mirror out of it, that would be.
Oh, dude, that would have been amazing.
That would have been incredible.
He would have felt like through the roof at that point.
Now Blind's Hut, that was a whole lot of nothing, but which is, I mean, to be honest, we have found quite a bit for just over 30 minutes into this seed.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true, right? I mean, we found, in this case, we found a hook shot, we found a glove, we found the mirror on Zelda's side, we found, looks like actually both rods actually must have missed where the ice rod was as well. We've got a sword, and we have the pearl, right? I mean, really the only thing now is just kind of like our boost in order to go a little bit faster, but I mean, like, they have pretty much, like, so much accessibility at this point open up to them.
Right, where did we find ice rod?
Maybe not. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute. I think, yeah, misclick. All right. Yeah, no worries. That happens.
No worries. No worries. I just suddenly looked down. I was like, I don't remember the ice rod being seen, but it's fine.
Right. That's one of those big things where we had to say again, thank you to our trackers today, Tofile and Sarah UX there, who were clicking the buttons behind the scenes as Zelga has gone ahead and he's found himself the back of Skull Woods here with Fire Rod and a
and a sword. It does count, despite the fact that it is fighter sword. Is Zelda going to attempt this? It looks like,
of
he
course.
is.
Yeah, I mean,
of course.
Zelga on 6 hearts. I mean, Zelga on 6 hearts doing a fighter sword moth. Yeah, it's not a problem.
You're right. This is just going to be like a spoiler lock race all over again, right? He's like, oh,
pretty much.
Oh, and look at that free big magic drop from the Gyptos, man. I mean, this game is just like, you know what? I'll throw you a bone here.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're here, you're gonna take a swing at this anyway, just because it just makes it a whole lot easier with just walking straight up to the top there, grabbing the big key off of this. As okay, Boulder finding very interesting laser bridge real fast. As I'm gonna have to try to keep an eye on a fighter sword moth fight and and a laser bridge skips at the same time here.
I mean, Zelga's got Fire Rod. Look at how many shots he's landing. Yeah,
taking a hit yet. Unfortunately, that laser did get a hit over on Boulder, so it's gonna take a second. And there, down goes Moth, just super clean over on Zelga's side there. One little spike nudge, and his first crystal there at the 3430 market.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. I mean, it doesn't seem like the drops have been super great because we did find a compass, but you know, at least. When Zelda goes back, we can count along for the number of items he's going to get.
That is true. I mean, yeah, being able to count is a thing here. Now, we're going to see Boulder go for attempt number 3 on these laser skips. These are not the easiest things.
I guess we're going to see some side-by-side laser skip action here. Zelda making it look super easy. And of course, technically, we do know that the laser bridge is unlogic. Well, when Zelda ends up finding a big cute desert. Mainly because we did see the Boulder picking up a cape. Zelga though, wow, dude, aren't these lasers even working on his side?
Yeah, he's making it look real easy there. As he gets through, gets a Desert Palace big key, gets the Master Sword as we just see from Boulder's side here, and then Boulder deciding, you know what, I'm gonna take the safe way for this top chest here. I'm gonna throw myself down the pit.
Understandable.
And then I frame my way through that. So pretty good over there on Boulder's side. And gonna take a quick death warp back out to the back there, and then it's a decision time for whether if he wants to do anything else. Might get a save and quit. Honestly, I don't think there's anything else in this. Oh wait, he can go check the desert main entrance here with that book, right?
Oh, that's right. Yes, he does have the book. Yeah, and then we ended up seeing, of course, Zelda when he ended up fighting over himself over to the Mire area. With that mirror, he was able to kind of like mirror right on top. As opposed to Boulder here, already in the light world, he's just gonna walk right up with that book. And of course, actually, with that book, right early, I mean, and with that Master Sword, our tablet section now are completely open.
Yeah, no, I mean, this game is very, very open to our runners right now. Pretty much the only, there's only a handful of things that we can't check right now is, oh man, that dam is paying off big. There's a big key just sitting there on the ground to Ice Palace.
Well,
good. I mean, good.
Yes.
You want that.
You certainly want that big key before you go into Ice Palace, because Ice Palace is probably one of the worst dungeons in order to kind of isolate a chest in, right? There are reasons why people end up, losing matches because, they end up, icebreakering it or something, or they don't have the big key, they end up killing Colster, and then if something's in the big chest, you're just sad.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the worst things that you feel like can happen there is if you go into Ice Palace there, because you don't, with Icebreaker or the bomb jump, you don't need the big key to finish the dungeon, but it means you do leave that chest, and man, when you go through and you leave that chest and it turns out to be the thing that you needed to finish the game with, it's not a good feeling.
Alright, okay, so speaking of potentially isolating chests, we are going to get a Boost's Hairpot skip from Zelda. No big, very nicely done by the way. That was super clean. And of course, no big key to Harrow means that we can't actually end up getting the big chest, but Zelda's got everything he needs in order to finish off Moldorm.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see exactly if this is gonna be a crystal or pendant here real fast. Items aren't anything interesting as we get our fire shield. I guess that'll be helpful if we mess up the blind script, but other than that, whatever.
That fire shield costs so much money, and yet like it's got maybe like one use in the game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not something that you get too excited to see. You just kind of like shrug your shoulders and go, oh, yeah, all right, whatever, sure, I'll take this, I guess.
Actually behaving pretty well, just kind of nudging himself, snuggling himself in that on that side where Zelda was just basically able to sword swipe his way across to be rewarded with the temper sword, 100% worth, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you ended up getting a pendant out of that, but at the same time you got a tempered sword, so you're like, you know what? I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna worry about that at all. Sure.
Yeah, the upgrade between Master Sword and Temper Sword, I mean, especially this early on in the game. I mean, of course, Zelda would have loved to have a Temper Sword, for the Mothula fight, of course, but, I mean, he's gotten, what, one dungeon done, out of at least, 7, right, that we probably need at this point.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
of course, the speed benefit for the Master Sword is going to pay dividends. Not to mention, how fast we're going to be able to kill Ganon over Master Sword.
What's kind of crazy here is that we're going to see our third dungeon finished over on Zelga's side, and it's going to be just over the 40-minute mark when he goes ahead and kills Lanmo. Zelga, I mean, we were joking before about being in a hurry today. I think Zelga might have actually heard us and was trying to actually be in a hurry. Okay, so Boulder is going to go ahead and hopefully this time he's not going to get sub-pixeled here. Hopefully this time he won't pick up the Moldorm, just won't even drop an item. That's what we're hoping there. Okay, so he should be fine.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, actually, so on Zelda's side, it looks like actually he is opted to at least save a couple of his some magic and try to get a couple more fire rod shots in order to kill Lammo even faster. See how he does.
Yeah, that one Lanmo decided that he wanted to fly away, but this last hit's gonna take him down there, and yeah, there he goes.
Another compass! Is this a trend now? Every boss is gonna drop a compass for us, except Moldorm, which has apparently a sword.
I mean, why not, right? So, man, that is crystal number 2 for Zelga here, just over the 40-minute mark, as Boulder is just having a day with this Harapot.
Yeah, man.
Man, he's gonna be legitimately angry when he gets up to the top and he finds out that this is just a pendant. Because he's probably sunk a good minute or 2 into just doing that Harapot.
At least for what it's worth, right, he is going to get Temper Sword out of this, right? So it's not going to be, imagine how bad you might feel if you end up getting another compass off of Moldorm, right?
Yeah. Oh, that is true here. Zelga gonna go ahead. We're headed back to Dark Witch's shop here, and then it's kind of a decision point for him. Probably gonna jump across here. Or are we gonna fake flipper over to the to Dark Shopping Mall? Okay, we're gonna fake flipper to Dark Shopping Mall first.
Looks like so. Did you see how smooth that fake flipper was? I mean, Zelda's execution is really on point today. And actually, it looks like he's gonna also set up his fake flipper swimming portal to get some rightwards momentum, just to try and combat some of the potentially bad enemy RNG from that bomber, especially because you have enough iframes at that point in order to safely get across the bridge, or on the bridge.
Yeah, you're not like 100% safe doing it that way, but you're pretty close. It's. If you set it up like Zelga did there, you're gonna be through 90% of the time here. This route's really gonna work for Zelga because he hasn't actually been to this area yet on the Light World side either, so he'll be able to mirror over and check the other 3 chests on Light World side in just a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, the fact that he has the mirror, which right now the Boulder would really like at this point, having such a very powerful item, Zelda can just very, very efficiently be able to combine his Light World, Dark World checks.
Yeah, and we're getting into King's Tomb as Boulder picks up his first dungeon clear there. Just gets a pendant out of it, but does get, like you mentioned, does get that tempered sword. So that'll make the rest of the game significantly easier.
So, you know, we picked up all this stuff. I guess Zelda does have a mirror, right? So he does have a lot of progression, you know, or at least accessibility open to him. I don't think we've actually found that many dungeons, though. I mean, despite... So every dungeon we found, we pretty much cleared, right? But I think we still haven't found, like, you know, we haven't found Pod. I guess Zelda did find Eastern, but it's like, there are still some pretty, you know, high-density item locations that are still kind of, like, yet to be seen.
Yeah, no, I mean, serious, like, I'm going through it right now. We found... Yeah, we've only found, what, six dungeons so far?
Yeah.
I mean, the dungeons have been hiding a bit, and it's kind of interesting because we do have access to, like, pretty much almost everything in the game right now, outside of a couple of boots lock locations, and a couple of hammerlock locations.
Oh, right, yeah. We don't have a hammer yet, of all things.
Yeah, it's, so we're well, I guess we're gonna have to keep poking around here. Hopefully we'll find something sooner than later, as Zelga's got to get back through this portal there, and kind of clips it with his arm, and I guess that worked.
I would also like to point out that we do have GT Vicky, at least on Zelda's side, and we have a bow. We haven't found GT yet, but we can't climb, right? I don't know if they want to, but we can.
We can climb. You know, you've got a good point, because we do have everything that we need to start the climb if we want to do that. As Boulder takes down Landmo there, he's going to get his first crystal, so that tempered sword immediately paying a little bit of dividends for him.
Alright, so making his way over to Graveyard Ledge. So unfortunately no boost, so we can't end up checking out what King's Tomb is. But of course, if we end up finding myths, right, this is not going to be a bad spot to get back to. Small key too. Man,
Ice
okay.
Palace. Alright, so that's everything we need for Ice Palace outside of a hammer.
Oh, right. We still need that hammer.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we ended up finding actually a lot of ice smalls. I think we found both of them, right? And we found the big key as well. So yeah, that's and we have a fire rod. So it's pretty tempting.
And if you're Boulder, you've even got bombos as well. So I mean,
yeah,
you're sitting pretty there for the moment that we actually find Ice Palace. But we'll get a quick map check here. That is crystals everywhere and swamp as a pendant.
Oh right, I think we knew swamp was a green pendant because we talked to Sahashwala.
Right. And Pod was a 5/6, and we had a bunch of stuff. Zelga's about to pick up his mushroom, do some chest turns there for fancy this. Messed up the last one. Don't worry, everybody saw that, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, please somebody clip it so we can show it to Zelda. So he very much remembers how not to do chest turns.
We're finally going to get to see exactly what is locked behind GT today, because this is the one thing we hadn't checked yet. This is Magic Bat, so that's going to be useless fairy today behind GT. So that's going to put the GT climb a little bit less tempting.
Yeah, especially, oh man, I mean, and any less tempting though does not ever stop the game from putting something important up there. But it's just, but yeah, like you just have so little desire in order to go up there, right? Because instead of only having, what, 5 items up there, right? Sorry, you only have 5 items up there, as opposed to the well being behind GT, or like, you know, Magic Bat being behind GT. You know, at least you get one other thing after that, right? But,
yeah, as it is now, you're just gonna kind of go, no, I don't want to do that. Maybe later. It's gonna be kind of hard. Now, the interesting question here is, what is Zelga gonna do with this with his current setup here? Because we know from Boulder's side that if he goes out through, if he goes all the way through Hookshot Cave as a connector, he's gonna end up on top of on top of Bumper Cave, which is going to be fantastic. He's going to do that, so he's going to get to check this additional entrance with the mirror that he's got. But we already know this. This is the other end of Bumper Cave. Not Bumper Cave, but Spiral Cave.
That's right. Because Boulder ended up taking this very early on with the Skin of Burna, and got spit right out, because I think the other one was like in the fortune teller shop or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh,
less
why?
less exciting.
Why?
Oh, well, that's actually really good for Boulder. Oh, he could have
Wait, I was
kept
gonna say,
going.
doesn't he have the big key to Skullwoods?
Yes, he could have kept going.
Okay.
But I think he probably.
I'm sure it wasn't important. You know, what are the chances that like the one item of Russian that would lock the rest of the seed is in that chest? I'm just, you know, I'm just being optimistic here.
Yeah. I mean, that's not ideal. Zelda going ahead and going through that one connector here. He's gonna show us what's in the big chest here in just a second.
That's right.
So we'll get to see if Boulder has made a mistake or it just was making a strategic skip. Get a bomb jump across.
Is very nice. Yeah. You know
strategic
what?
skip.
Strategic skip. Exactly. You know, we don't need more money, right? We, especially on Bolt. You know, it would be nice maybe to have a little bit, you know, more cash so we can open up pod. But you know, other than that, I'm sure he'll find some more money along the way.
And actually, chat kind of putting out a good point here. That would have been a really good time for if Zelda had wanted to go ahead and check the pedestal. He's going to get another chance here because unfortunately he's going to get pushed all the way through this area real fast. He does with this with having Moldorm, not Moldorm, but I always say that Mothula cleared. He can go ahead and just walk out the pinball room real fast here. And end up right back in that area. And then if he wants to do a pedestal check right then, yeah, he's got all the opportunity in the world to do it.
It does seem like he's avoided the pedestal check, though. I mean, he had opportunity early on in the game, right, to make that check. When he had the book and he was in Lost Coast early, he could weird out. I guess we'll see if he ends up wanting this information. Meanwhile, though, Boulder on Death Mountain, making his explorations. I'm trying to remember if he was over here. I want to say no, but you know, just another thing he could have done, I guess, with the mirror.
And I guess Zelga's not interested there. He's just going to kind of go in there. I'm trying to figure out here. Zelda had 7 out of 8 items out of Skullwoods on his compass. Yeah, and I'm... Did he not do the bridge chest in...
He did the bridge chest. Did he not do the big key chest?
He did check... Oh, yeah, didn't do... Yeah, that's right, because the front, yeah, it's a jerk Skullwoods. Got it. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting my runners mixed up there. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I can't even remember what was in Skullwood's big key chest. I don't think it was anything important.
Lippers, though. Actually.
Oh, no, right, you're right. That's very important, actually.
Yeah.
Well, is it super important? Okay, it most likely is important, you know. We do know that Swamp is a pendant, and we did find the dam. We haven't found the small key yet, but, you know, Swamp has, what, like 10 items in there or something like that? I mean, I'm sure there could be something in there.
Right, there's a pretty good chance that it's not going to matter at all, but we'll see. That's just kind of an awkward one, and for Zelga's perspective there, because you know you found the back of Skullwoods, you've gotten all the obvious items there, now you're just got to try to remember that you have one thing left. Now I'm looking at his tracker, he's still got the, you know, that he's missing one chest there, so he should know. It's just it's not going to be a priority by any means, as just gets a small key out of the Chain Chomp chest. Boulder seeing front of Eastern Palace there and also deciding not to go into it, walking out 5 steps away and turning around and going, yeah, you know what, let me go do it.
Yeah, I am actually kind of curious. I guess I don't know what Boulder's tendencies are, or especially his opinions towards Eastern Palace, but, you know, if he is interested in getting some variation between himself and Zelda, right? Chances are, you know, he is predicting that Zelda did not end up going in. So if there is something in Eastern, right, this actually could be a pretty big advantage for him. And actually, Zelda actually ended up picking up a small key to GT. Of all small keys, I think that's actually our first one. Surprisingly late. Wasn't actually necessarily expecting that.
Oh dang, you're right. Wow.
But of course, you know, yeah, but of course, like, we haven't found GT yet. So I guess I am kind of curious to see what Zelda wants to do. If and when he gets there. Hello! Did you just see the Boulder pull out the King of Samaria in Eastern?
That's kind of a big deal right there.
That is kind of a big deal. Yeah. That means he can actually go straight back into Turtle Rock and keep going from the back.
Right, he could go all the way out the front if he doesn't really have enough keys to do that. Now Zelga immediately gonna clean up this one thing that he forgot. So he's gonna walk up here, go ahead and grab his flippers super quick, which is good for him. So he's not gonna have that sort of problem here, but I guess one of the biggest questions for Zelda is going to be, where is that Eastern Palace big key? Because at some point he's probably going to have to go into Eastern Palace there, but the decision is, the trick is it going to be a double dip for him, or is he going to be able to dig that Eastern Palace key out somewhere else there as he goes ahead and picks up his flippers?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe, one possibility is, we actually haven't found the flute yet. And, of course, where Eastern Palace is a very convenient flute spot to one, right? So maybe he, also was hoping that he could find some better mobility for him, and then he can just go back to Eastern pretty quickly.
That would be pretty good. That would be ideal if you're on Zelga's side for sure. As he's gonna go real quick here, remembering that he's seen both sides of Spiral Cave. Yeah. He's gonna go ahead, get his 10 arrows, and then come back to his portal. Boulder's gonna continue on here. We're through Eastern Palace to the last chest he's gonna be able to get, unless this is the Eastern Palace big key,
close.
Which it isn't.
I would also like to point out the magnitude of order difference for rupees between the Boulder and Zelga. So based on the 5 rupees that the Boulder just picked up, he managed to increase his count to over 100, whereas Zelga, I guess, has found over 1,000.
That's impressive. Now I'm sitting here trying to remember. I think, did Boulder went up to Zora, didn't he?
Did he go up? I thought he was always just short on cash. I want to say he hasn't been up there. Because so he did Houlihan, and I don't think he went to the back of Skull Woods, which had like a rupee hoard. The big key to Skull Woods also had 100 rupees.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right.
He's just not picked up any cash versus Zelda. He Houlihan at the beginning. He's got all this money, and yeah. So if anyone's gonna go up to Zora, I think it might be Zelda.
Yeah, well, I'm listening to our trackers here, and our trackers are saying that he has 100% not gone to Zora. So yeah, I believe them completely here. As it looks like the Thieves Town vanilla entrance here is going to be our mini Moldorm cave. So here's some fun things on Zelga's side. 5 items of questionable goodness.
Good. Yeah, hopefully something good.
And half magic is going to be good. Yeah. But other than that, that is it called the half magic cave, and looks like pretty much it.
There were so many good red. Well, there were so many red things. You were just really hoping that one of them would be, shoe shaped. But sadly, that is not the case yet. But I think that's all of the 5 item caves that we've seen that we have, because we found Hype Cave, we found Mini Moldorm, we found Hookshot Cave, we found Blind, and we found Mini Mold. Yeah, I think that's all of them.
Pretty much, and that's a shovel there sitting on top of Spec Rock, and I guess when Zelga was up here the first time, just did not see this. Now this is kind of unfortunate for Zelga, because he's now found himself Misery Mire, and we know from Boulder's side that this is basically you can clear this in one shot here, but if you do that, you're gonna have to. He would have had to have dipped Eastern Palace earlier, so this is gonna be a double dip on his side, but he'll be able to get basically all 7 items in front of Misery Mire first. So yeah, I mean, not great, but. We might find the Eastern Palace big key in here, and then at that point you just kind of shrug your shoulders and go, well, I had to do one of these.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess, it's not, the end of the world in order to get to the back of Mire for the basement. Is that going to be vanilla compass? Oh, it's close. At least it's a compass.
Yeah. But we're going to see what's locked behind the 3 Mire keys. Zelga walked in here with 2 of them already, so that's when you start getting a little suspicious that there possibly, maybe, might be something back here.
Yeah, possibly, maybe, might be, yes. You certainly hope that's the case, because it's a cutscene chest.
Exactly. And over on Boulder's side, he I want to say has saved the old. Yeah, he saved the old man. So pretty soon on his side, when he saves and quit, he'll end up in the mire area, which will be the best possible situation for him because that's where the dam is. And then that's where the, more importantly, the mirror is, in this case.
Oh yeah, that's right. Speaking of, yeah, the Boulders still has not gone back to the, well, he hasn't found the mire area yet, and yeah, and he really needs that mirror. Because right now Zelda is, you know, making, his progress has been very efficient, right? Because he's able to do dark and light world together, whereas the Boulder kind of has to like do like a double trip, right? For example, he found himself on floating island. I'm not even sure if we saw what that was earlier, but he can't get it right now, right? Because he doesn't live here.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet because Zelda hasn't been back up that way with the mirror yet, so we don't know. Now, Boulder is about to get this, and quick shout-outs to his health right now, still having 6 hearts at basically the hour mark of the speed.
But this is something good news. He's gonna get his mirror relatively quickly. Hopefully. So long as, assuming he doesn't get distracted.
Right, there.
Have you seen anything that was useful in Mire so far? I want to say no.
Well, on Misery Mire, the dungeon Misery Mire.
Yes, correct. Oh, sorry, yes. The dungeon itself, I don't think we've actually ended up finding anything.
Yeah, not a thing so far. We got a small key here to Turtle Rock, which, yeah, you don't need. But... yeah... We got one last chest for Zelda in just a second here on this bridge. And yeah, Misery Mire, complete bupkis.
That's so disappointing, right? Because there were 7 items in there that had such good potential, and yet, you know, we're just gonna basically walk. It's almost as if it was just junk filled at that point, or junk pre-filled.
I'm not saying that that's when you start considering in your head, maybe this is my last pendant. But Zelga's already checked the map, so he knows that it's a crystal, but like, when you get that level of just complete garbage, you start, like, in my head I start going, was this a pendant? I just didn't need to do it at all.
Okay, so I think this is going to be a new location on our side, on Zelda's side. It looks like not anything useful.
Yeah, but we're gonna go to the race game really fast here, and I didn't see what this was earlier. Zelda taking a little bit of time here, picking up an extra map. It's gonna be the map to Ganon's Tower. So everybody point and laugh at Zelda, because that is yeah, like you said, that is just an absolutely.
Oh no! Did Boulder mess up Blind's hut? Oh, I see an inaccessible chest.
Yeah, that exact reason is the reason I don't do the mirror block cancel in Blind's hut. Just because if that goes wrong, you just sit there and you go, oh, come on, man.
It's probably one of those like pride things more than anything else. It's like, you know, I guess not oftentimes, not many runners get to say that they had to, you know, go back and double dip Blind's hut, right?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to see it over here on his side for sure. And Zelda has found himself Swamp Palace, so we can get what? We can get what? One item out of this?
One, yep, because we don't have the Swamp Small. Unless it's the Swamp Small, GT. I guess I didn't see the key counter go up in this dungeon, so I didn't have to get my hopes up too much. But you know, that small key it was baiting.
So Swamp being mirror locked today because sometimes you just got to keep with tradition.
Why do we even play entrance if Swamp's going to be mirror locked? I mean, I thought this was the reason why we play entrance is so we could avoid stuff like this.
Yeah. I mean, all I know is that you don't have to drain the dam every single time you want to go into Swamp, which that just makes Crosskeys the superior mode.
All right, Boulder though, he, you know, in Chapter 4 Cave, he has kind of followed Zelda's footsteps, trying to do some exploration. Of course, the major difference is Boulder is here on Tempered Sword as opposed to Zelda with his Fighter Sword, so presumably his Mafia is going to be heck of a lot nicer.
Let's get a quick Bombos tablet check over here on Zelda's side for the
Zelda!
boots.
Oh, that is the best Bombos tablet in all of Crosskeys in the entire world. Oh, Zelda could finally go fast, and even at just over the hour mark too. I want to say last seed he didn't get them until like post hour and a half, which and I think actually Boulder ended up having them significantly earlier. So this should be certainly a really good feels good moment.
Yeah, if I remember Zelda saying something about his seed number 1 between these two runners being absolute trash.
Yeah, hopefully it's not shaping up to be like that so far. I mean, they've certainly got a lot of progression early on, but you know, how long has it been since we I think, you know, got what our mirror? Because, you know, we're still missing a hammer, of all things.
I mean, to be completely honest with that, you're generally kind of okay with missing the hammer until late in this, as long as it is like late in your progression chain, because it just absolutely locks so much in the game, and then you can just not really have to worry about it, because you're typically going to get a pretty fast seed. As so Boulder goes ahead and gets his second crystal there out of Skull Woods. Now, we found out from Zelga's side that the big bombs there sitting in the Dark Bonk Rocks location there, we're looking at Desert Palace and Pod as our 5-6 crystals, but we kind of already knew that, so great.
Speaking of Pod, we still have actually not found Pod, but we have actually quite the number of small keys, at least between our two runners. I mean, it actually looks like, according to our trackers, Zelda, that was Zelda's 4th Pod key, coupled with that bow. Once they end up finding Pod, like, he can get the vast majority of items in there for sure. Yeah, and, you know, Zelda probably not going to bother waiting for Pyramid Fairy in this case after those 2 crystals, because Zelda I think was up the pyramid much earlier, but of course with the mirror, right, we can actually now check the 3 entrances that Zelda could not see, including the one in the center, because now we have the Temper Sword.
Right, and Zelda came out of it. Zelda did that one bomb jump to already go through the Spectacle Rock thing, and that spit him out at Pyramid Fairy there not that long ago. So, but that's just not something we're gonna need now. Boulder, great decision on his point here.
We are gonna get boots super early on Boulder's side, because I think Zelda ended up taking a very efficient, a thorough route in order to kind of I won't say end his route here, but. Boulder ended up coming here much sooner. It's a good strategy, just go to where the boots are.
And that's what you want to do right there for sure. Is just get those boots immediately and then start dashing around everywhere. So there, so far, not really a thing. Has been unlocked by boots. We've gotten a little bit of information that we kind of already knew. I guess Boulder doesn't know it yet, but he's also not headed in that direction. He's gonna go ahead. He's gonna find his Swamp Palace. This is where Zelda having that early mirror is really gonna start to pay some serious dividends, because he's just got the ability to go. He's already cleared so much of the game, whereas Boulder's gonna have to go through and just start trying to catch up there, trying to make the right decisions, and this is where a lot of the kind of luck components of Crosskeys comes in.
Yeah, I mean, right, and especially a lot of these locations now, because of the late mirror, Boulder's kind of have to he has to kind of go back to, right? Versus Zelda, he's kind of already cleared that the first time. So certainly, Boulder does have a bit more ground in this case to make up for. And speaking of, also this is another thing that Zelda ended up having to his advantage, right? He could just mirror over and check the hobo and dash all the way over here versus Boulder ended up swimming all the way to hobo.
Yeah, some things are just a lot easier to do if you do it this way. As kind of running through everything in my head right now, we're not actually looking for a whole lot at this point as far as item locations go. entrances go here, because we found most of the interesting ones here. We're still missing probably a couple of dungeons we need.
Yeah, we would
that's the
like
biggest
to
thing.
find Pod. We would like to find Pod at some point. We are missing a big key to Eastern Palace. I think so Eastern Palace big key. I mean, they already found Desert Palace big key, but like these types of and Pod big key. These are typically some of the most elusive big keys because they really just only lock like 1 or 2 items, so they really can be anywhere.
Right, and so that's not the most great thing in the world. Now this is going to be an interesting one for Zelda. This connector that he's on is going to spit him out on the Turtle Rock bridge here. He's got the mirror, so he'll be able to actually check this Mimic Cave and Spiral Cave entrances and tell us what we've got here.
Oh, right. And he also did find himself over to the safety door, right, of Turtle Rock. So eventually he can also take that connector as well. Or jump down, wherever he decides to make some progress.
Right, yeah, because we do know how to get back to the top of Dark Death Mountain really easily. I mean, that's not going to be an issue here. It looks like, yeah, these are both completely useless over on Zelga's side.
It's like,
so
you get your hopes up for such good potential because like, oh man, like there are 2 whole entrances here that I could look at and then, just mark them off the tracker and then just keep going.
Oh, this is going to work out perfectly, because, yeah, that's the other one's Hyrule Castle. Hyrule Castle Center is the top of Dark Death Mountain.
Wow,
so, yeah, this is
Zelda.
perfect for Zelda. This is just, let the route fall right into my lap like that.
Do you think he's played Crosskeys before?
I think it's something about winning a ladder season in
I'm just making sure, because, so sometimes, the runners can also kind of, like, stumble upon these types of things, right? But I feel like maybe, for Zelda's experience, this might have been planned.
He's done once or twice. I don't know here. It's kind of hard to say. That gets his 3rd key to Misery Mire. Now, the thing is, he's not finding anything, but he's eliminating a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, Zelga's definitely got the advantage in just like knowledge at the moment, but Boulder's not really that far behind right now because we're still missing some very annoying items, Ice Rod, that we haven't found yet.
Maybe our trackers could just put it on the tracker anyway, and we could just say that we did. You think the game would let us?
That would be really nice here, but I mean, at this point, you're kind of hoping that wherever this other thing is going to end up in is going to end up somewhere easy to find. As it looks like Ether Tablet is going to have a big key to.
Well, that is always a big key that you want to see. Yeah, especially when in this case both runners have already cleared out Tower of Hero, which was also a pendant. It wasn't like the worst place to kind of get back to, certainly, but it is another trip up, right? And it is pretty isolated at this point.
Yeah, that's one of those where you go, okay, so how fast is my Harapod?
Yeah. Of course, the good news is that both runners end up having boots, and I presume that both runners are just much more comfortable with the boots the boots setup as opposed to the bottom one. Certainly, I would hope that the boots version for the Boulder would go better than his boots this one.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Yeah, it just when it kind of goes off for you like that, you hope that the next time will be easier. It can get into your head though. I noticed that a lot of times if I hit it immediately, I'm fine. It's great. But then if I mess it up the first time, I'm usually gonna mess it up like 2 or 3 more times. Zelda, unfortunately, forgetting that he has the Desert Palace big key, I think right now. Deciding that he really wanted to... Never mind, he knows exactly what he's doing. As he ends up right on the middle of the mountain here.
Yep, so the entire mountain was kind of useless in terms of entrances.
Oh yeah, this is complete garbage up here. Wow, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Wow. So... Boulder on the other side, he's actually doing something kind of interesting here because we haven't been able to check. Oh, okay, he's going the long way. He's going to be able to check King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge Bonk Rocks as well here in just a second.
Yeah, I was going to say this is going to be a new check for us because Zelda, when he was over here, he was bootsless. Zelda did end up, I don't know, did he not want to check the big check?
I think
He just literally ran away.
yeah, I think he just ran right by that real fast. That's gonna be a feels bad moment here in a minute, probably. But if he remembers,
I'm sure. You know what? There was nothing for the boulder to be missing from the Skullwoods big chest, so surely it's just paying back the favor, right? On Zelda's side. Hello, did we just find the library and the flute?
We did just find the library and the flute, miss. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah, that is going to be really. That is well, okay. It certainly increases your mobility a lot, but because we already have mire access, it's not going to be like super hard progression lock, right? But the boulder's going to be able to get around a lot nicer.
Yeah, having that flute just makes your life considerably more pleasant in this game, because like you mentioned here, that's a place for Ice Palace.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Ouch.
So Zelda, well, you know what? What do we really have left to do, right? Certainly the hammer can't be in Desert Big, and so therefore all the stuff that Zelda's gonna do is not gonna cost him by diving Ice Palace without the hammer. That's how things work, right?
Well, we're gonna find out. Now, the good news is that he's not gonna need to hit the switch here, regardless, because he's got everything that he needs for to just kind of go directly to the right side, and especially not having the well, that's a good question. Do you hit the switch anyway, just in case hammer is in here? Because yeah, Zelga's gonna go back and hit the switch.
Yeah.
Just in case hammer is in here, because if you don't hit the switch and then you get the hammer, not having a cane means you're gonna have to go the long way. He has no cane anyway,
right,
completely,
no
as
cane.
I'm getting yelled at. Right? Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm silly.
No. I mean, it was it's just one of those locations, right, where especially when you're on Zelda's side, you just block out, right? Because for those of you who may not have seen it earlier, the King of Samaria was sitting in Eastern Palace, where, of course, Zelda did not have the ability to full clear it when he was there the first time, so he did not dip any of it.
Yeah, no, that is the case here. So we're still looking right now for we're still gonna be looking for that Eastern Palace big key over there on Zelga's side. Now Boulder, on the other hand, he is coming into Misery Mire. He's gonna be able to clear this dungeon in one shot. It's unfortunately something Zelga was not able to do earlier. Zelga leaving behind the item that is on our friend Vitreous at the moment. Not a super fun time for Boulder coming up here, but he's at the worst. He's got cape and half magic, and he's got a bow, so I'm not anticipating too much. Although the Beamos is just pinballing him around the room there.
He's gonna get kind of bullied here. I am not. I think he has a bottle of green potion, I want to say. So if things go really terribly bad, he at least has some safeties. But we of course did see on Zelga's side that there was nothing here, literally just garbage in the first 7. So certainly for the Boulder's sake, there's gonna be something good.
I want to say I saw a bottle with a fairy, but that might have been the Wall Kicks T-Stew game that I was watching before this had a bottle and a fairy. So I'm at some point seed bleed is a thing, even for commentators.
That's right.
So,
and I don't think the Boulder ended up activating his flute from mirroring over. It's very possible he could have just chosen to clear out all of the rest of the village of outcasts before doing it. Just only hope he doesn't forget at the end, because as you said, that flute could be very nice for mobility.
Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's gonna. Hopefully he'll see that in just a minute. And so good. Just not getting anything out of there. Checked what he could. Found a whole fat lot of nothing, and probably doesn't feel too happy about that right now. For being completely honest.
It's at least we know that the hammer is not an Ice Palace.
I mean, small victory, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Not an Ice Palace. Well, where is it then? I don't know.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep looking. Actually, where has Zelda not been at this point? Or where have our runners not been? Combined together.
I want to say the Zora area.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And with 1,400 rupees, I'm hoping that Zelda is comfortable with spending at least 500 of it over to our fish friends. Oh, he's gonna check Kings too. That's gonna be kind of nice. And Bonk Rocks, I guess if he hasn't been over here yet.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this might be just let me go north and clear out as much as I can and hopefully find this. Oh, hey, how about GT?
So we have, so convenient for Zelda too, like, you know, enhancing our viewer experience. I already have the compass of GT, so we're going to be able to count along to all of the items we're going to pick up.
And this is again where we have to point out that Zelda does not have the Cane of Samaria. And somehow Boulder ran right by this on his way to Misery Mire. And yeah,
you're absolutely right, because I was like, you're right, because that would have definitely been a location that you would think that he would have checked. Looking like though Zelda is going to opt to not do the climb so far, only with 2 small keys. He also doesn't look like he wants to kind of keep going in Stalfo's room.
I can't.
Like, on further. Oh no, he doesn't have the hammer. He can't go further.
Like he's like, that's the thing. Both of these guys are just kind of missing just enough things to make this very, very awkward. As Zelda just picks up his flute and says, "Yeah, you know what? I'll just save and quit from here. This is fine." But the flute is good for getting around the light world right now. He can climb GT if he really wants to, but man, yeah, hammer at the top of GT. I mean, take me back to my week 1 match up there where that happened to me. That was fun.
Yeah. You know, the game has been very consistent and not being shy about putting useful / progression items into completely inconvenient and inaccessible locations.
Right now, yeah. The Boulder proving again that, no, yes, I still did not go to the pyramid. As you can see, I do not have a lamp at the moment. So, when he mirrors out, an accidental mirror.
My guess is he meant to use the cane, but just wasn't quick swapped over enough. So, you know, at least we got to see that the Boulder is very capable of doing that dark room. So he's got so much practice on screen, he's going to be able to do it for real this time around.
Yeah, this is I want to say right now, like, there's some nerves on Boulder's side right now. It feels like he's missing things. He's gonna go ahead and take a death warp actually.
Totally
here.
Understandable. Is this a vanilla waterfall fairy?
I believe so. I happen a big key to Swamp Palace for it. Nothing particularly interesting there. But now we're gonna go head our way on up to Zora here, see if there's anything interesting there. That's just a heart piece sitting at the
on the ledge.
Yeah, there you go. On the ledge. I'm just watching. Man, I'm just like, he is just getting pinballed in these rooms right now. I just cannot believe. And man, Zora not having anything either. So that's not our answer. Okay, so I think Zelda might be forced at this point to finally go into Eastern Palace.
So potentially, then, does that mean that Vitreous might actually have some progression? I mean, we still don't have Desert Big Chests that Zelda, having the big key. Oh, I guess both runners have the big key for, but Zelda, I guess, was back in Desert a little bit earlier.
That's true.
Oh, he's going back to Hera. Okay, all right. So this is gonna be something that we're not gonna isolate. So hopefully something, for Zelda's sake, hopefully something's here.
All right.
Yeah, so fast.
Smooth enough to get through there for sure. And yeah, well, I guess we're going to see in just a second here. Okay, so Boulder is making his way through the dark room, and you can imagine that after the first time that something kind of went wrong there, he's going to be real sure. Oh my god, that's the Titan's Mitts in the big chest of Tower of Hera. Yipes, that's a thing.
Yeah. So, typically in Crosskeys, right, the second glove isn't always necessarily required, but given how much, we've seen between our two runners, that glove actually could, the number of entrances and whatnot, like, that glove unlocks, actually could be pretty big.
Well, I mean, like, purely right now, that only unlocks 2 entrances. We just saw that one of them's complete Bupkis. Well, I guess 3. No, right now 2 entrances, because it only unlocks that one and the Hammer Pigs entrance, but it does open up Smith Chain, as a possibility. We still need to find a hammer, though, before we can open up the Turtle Rock main entrance. So, intrigue and interest and crazy stuff is still about here.
So speaking of, oh yeah, that's right. We have a shovel up there.
There's a shovel on top as well.
Maybe we'll dig up a hammer, you know, for our sake. Oh, Zelda, just barely making it into the portal to avoid some extra dialogue from the ball dude.
Oh man, Boulder is having a time here right now.
He's doing great. I'm hoping for only good things to happen.
Quick run left, quick run left, quick run left.
No!
Oh, he got it. He got nailed. Oh.
That is really unfortunate. I mean, and man, it's just, you know, I think he's trying to just calm himself down, right? You know, very, very understandable. Like, he is just really, you know, trooping through, right? And as you said, Days, like, there certainly could be some amount of nerves going on, too.
See, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, at some point, you know who you're playing against, right? Like, if you're coming into this game, Zelda is one of the, you know, like, you're in the top 16. Everybody you're playing against here is good at this game, you know? Right, so, like, if you start making, you know, mistakes like this, mistakes that, to be honest, Boulder, he probably admitted himself, he probably doesn't make that mistake 9 times out of 10, right? Mm-hmm. And it happens when you get into a high pressure situation like this. I mean, there's just times where that is gonna mess you up. One thing will build into another thing, into another thing, into another thing. Boulder doesn't have any safeties when he's running back there right now. He's got a green potion right now. To be completely honest, if I'm Boulder at this point, when I go down there, I'm putting my cape on until I get to Vidi almost.
Yeah. Because chances are, by the time you get to Vitreous, it's surprisingly not as dangerous fight as you might think it is. I mean, certainly, for those who watch maybe like some more like energy strats, right? You do want, let's say, like 7 hearts ideally. 5 is minimum, but you can always just take things like a little bit safer. We do have the bow. You don't always need to save only 8 arrows for the second phase with the big eye, right? You can also just try and snipe some of the arrows around.
Right, and the other thing, kind of another thing here, for Boulder is you can see he's keeping that cape on just a little bit longer just to be safe. I was praying that he didn't get like the cape glitch there when he having the cape activated through a doorway and like trying to unactivate it at the same time. All right, so he's through now.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
nice
good.
Job. Oh wow, that anti-fairy was a little bit closer than anyone would have liked. But yeah, the half magic certainly has really benefited the Boulder in this case. So he's gonna at least get a little bit more safety before he ends up going over.
And yeah, and really, to be fair, all Boulder probably should do right now is put that cape on and then just smash the button. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. Just smash the button there. You're not going to lose any magic there as long as you're smashing that button pretty much, and just do it until Vitreous is dead. Like, don't take any chances. You're about to get smacked with lightning.
Alright, we're fine. Good thing Boulder has red mail.
Okay, everything's good. Gets a map out of it and gets his crystal though. So he gets a crystal.
That is true. Yes. The most important thing is we do need 7 crystals in order to beat the game. And it would have been actually really big for the Boulder if the item progression fell on Vitreous, right? Because we still don't have the Eastern Palace sticky. Zelda has not gone back to Eastern Palace, and the chances of him going back, I mean, they are increasing, right? Because, as he's running out of stuff to do, but he has very little reason, in this case, to go back to Eastern unless he can full clear.
True, but I mean, he's running out of, like you mentioned, though, okay, there's our hammer.
Man.
Hammer was under the ground there. You had to go dig it up, so so we need, right now, Boulder needs to go and get that one shovel off the top of Spectacle Rock.
Oh man,
and yeah,
it's
not a great time.
It's so like isolated though, right? I mean, it's like you kind of have to know to go back because okay, so granted, we could have gotten the mirror, you know, like at least on Zelda's side, we got it. I would say like relatively early, right? So then technically, like that shovel was, you know, available, but you had so much extra stuff, right? And like the fact that you want to go back to the shovel, kind of like there wasn't really anything like much left, right, up on the mountain to kind of like incentivize you to go back just for that shovel.
Yeah, but on the other side here, we don't know where this Eastern Palace Big Key is.
That is very true, yes.
We are, on Zelga's side, we're about to go through Ice Palace the long way again.
It's okay, we saw how well he did the Ice Palace bomb jump the first time. I'm sure he'll nail the second time as well.
That's not what I'm worried about here. But what I'm worried about is where Boulder is right now. He's in GT, and depending on what is locked in this compass room right now, the key situation says that there's probably nothing here, but depending on if this is, say, where the Eastern Palace Big Key is, Zelga's might not come here for a little while. We also don't know if Eastern's even needed, but we'll find out in just a minute here. First off, we're going to see that it is a single arrow. Thank you for waiting for your tile room. Please have this commemorative stick.
Yeah, I guess at least it's a unique item. But, you know, but if you're gonna go for unique items, we may as well just get like a bug net or something, right? At least that could be semi-useful, especially
Yeah,
for, you know.
I mean, that's great. I mean, oh god.
Man, that spike! Like, the Boulder's just getting bullied left and right here.
That is happening quite often to him, it does seem like this time. He's just getting, I mean, there's a little bit of red mail. I've got red mail. I don't care about anything right now. But at the same time, you don't want to take too much damage. Okay, so behind here, we've got a small key to Castle Tower.
My gosh.
Yay, whatever.
Well, that does unlock one more item, and I don't believe either runner has gotten it so far. Of course, the Boulder is probably not too thrilled in order to have to go back there. One, it's, you know, it's not exactly a convenient place to get back to, but also two, he still doesn't have that lamp.
True. Oh my god, yeah. He hasn't been to the pyramid yet to go get his lamp. That Castle Tower key, yeah, Lumberjack is completely useless today, so we're not going for that. We've already checked that today. Zelga on the other side, we're finally into seeing what was locked behind that hammer. We got a small key to Swamp Palace.
I've always wanted to go into to Pendant Swamp Palace, especially when it's green, so then we can go back to Sahashla and turn it in.
Alright, I'm just gonna put a wild guess out there. It's a 50-50 chance, but Ice Palace is gonna be our last pendant.
It is accessible, yes.
I'm just thinking that that's probably what our last stuff here. I'm thinking that's gonna be the key here, but we'll see.
You know, at least, you know, the Boulder's actually picked up a good amount of safeties here in GT. You know, I don't think he's actually found, you know, something that I guess has been like super, you know, progression so far. But at least he can live a little bit longer.
Yeah, true. I mean, he was at 6 hearts, still at almost at the hour mark here, so he's doubled that in the last half an hour. So that's kind of nice. Behind Ice Armos today, we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves just a map, a bee in a bottle, and 50 rupees. So,
are we climbing? We are not climbing.
We're not climbing. But what are we going to do then? We're going to take that flute up to the mountain. We are. Are we going to go up to Spectacle Rock to get that shovel?
Ooh, this is going to be good for Boulder if he ends up doing this. I mean, it certainly looks this way. Zelda taking advantage of that half magic, basically. It looks like the puff's got a little bit away from him, but, you know, got a couple extra fire rod shots up our sleeve for a very worthwhile 20 rupees, but most importantly, that is a crystal.
Oh god, that might even be even worse for Zelda now. He has full crystal knowledge.
Actually, yeah, this means that Eastern's a pendant, right?
Eastern is a pendant.
Yeah. Oh man.
And that is where your cane is. But one of our trackers there, Tofile, telling us that Zelga has nothing left outside of Pod today. So maybe he's gonna head that way here sooner than later.
Yeah, speaking of Pod, we haven't found Pod, right? We're still missing that entrance?
We are still missing that entrance. We did get that hammer, which is we do have the hammer, we do have the We do have the mitts now, so that we're open to every single entrance in the entire game.
Yeah, looks like Zelda though is gonna opt to do left side GT with that newly found hammer. So this is certainly, you know, with 2 small keys you can actually get pretty far.
True. And Boulder again.
I was gonna say this is great, you know, fortune on Boulder's side. Basically, like he's just, you know, beelining it straight to at least, you know, in this case like the hammer, right? So this is gonna be a really great great catch up at this point now for the hammer.
Yeah, he's making the right decisions here for sure. Now, on the other side though, he's still likely to need those mitts. And they are in just an awful location.
yeah. I mean, the likelihood of people going back to get the big key, the big chest of Hera after you've already cleared up Animal's a pendant is just so small.
Right, because I mean we're looking for Pod right now, and that's the only one that we haven't found, and we are working our way through it, and it's I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. Zelga making his way through GT here. Biggest thing that Zelga's looking for at this point would probably be, well, I mean, he's looking for the Samaria, but we know where that is. We need to find that ice rod somewhere still, because this game's not over until we find that lovely item.
I think we also in this case need a Pod big key as well, right?
Oh, yep, you're correct.
Oh,
yeah,
and a Turtle Rock big key.
And a Turtle Rock big key. Okay, so we're quite a few items away, apparently.
So that's surprisingly high. I mean, I guess we found like all of our other big keys. I think we found Ice big key, we found Skullwood's big key, we found another Castle Tower small key. Great.
Yeah. And wow, rando room, nothing. The Stalfo's room, nothing. GT so far.
Yeah, clearly this means that everything is just on the climb, right? Because, you know, that's why they put nothing in the basement?
I mean, I'm trying to think of something else that you would do outside of climbing right now. Like, unless you're Zelga and you really want to go check, like, you're not far away from being able to check, like, hammer pegs and that one hammer-locked house in Village of Outcasts. So if you wanted to do that, I wouldn't argue with you by any means. But yeah, climbing's got to start looking pretty interesting.
I also want to say that they did find Mimic Cave pretty early, so can't actually quite remember where that was, but that is another item location that they could, well, at least Zelda, yeah, no, actually, both the Boulder and Zelda will visit.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't remember where the heck that would be. I'm trying to keep track. Mimic Cave is on West Death Mountain. Thank you again, our amazing trackers. Yeah, seriously, trackers make this so much easier for the rest of us. Zelga deciding not to climb right now. Instead, we're going to pull out a flute and go back to, looks like probably back to the village. So he might be doing exactly what I had mentioned right now, a second ago.
You think we're going to get a pet check? After the 5th time over here that's, you know, for Zelda? Probably not, huh?
To be completely honest, it's not a terrible idea right now. Now you're still a bit away from it, but I mean, with the amount of things we're missing, I mean, unless Pod has everything, which is possible, Pod does have 14 items in it. Pedestal might have something. I mean, it really might.
It certainly would not be the first time that something was on pedestal, you know, and neither runner ended up checking that for, you know, forever. Oh, this is gonna be really nice for Boulder. You know, in contrast to, you know, Zelga's situation, not only Zelga came in here twice, right? He came here twice first time without the hammer, second time without the Cane of Samaria, and Boulder's gonna be able to do this completely all in one go.
Right, and it looks like we found the right side of Turtle Rock there, the big chest entrance to Turtle Rock over on this. Now, Interesting decision over here by Zelga, not deciding to go off and finish Misery Mire at the moment, because he's just literally standing was right next to it there in the dark.
He still needs the Kate of Samaria.
He still needs the Kate of Samaria. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Gosh.
He is really searching for that cane, and he is really hoping. Of course, chances are Zelda is aware. That there could be something in Eastern progression. The longer that he has not been able to find any piece of progression.
Right, and he's about to. Okay, so I think at this point we have narrowed it down that he is about to go into Palace of Darkness right now. Like this is the last.
I think this is the right. Mm-hmm.
And
because it certainly can't be behind GT, right? Because Pod we know is a crystal, so. Oh, are there any other spots that are left at this point?
No. Maybe? Yes? I don't think so. Like, I'm going through my tracker right now and seeing nothing. So this has got to be Pod. So he's going to walk in, and it is Pod. All right.
It is Pod.
5 keys as well, Pod.
Yeah, no big key, but he's got everything else. So, but of course, we could actually just end up finding the big key, in Palace of Darkness itself.
I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be shocked in the slightest if that's the key. Okay, so now that's another small key to GT. That's gonna be a. That's starting to put that climb a little bit more into logic there. Now we can get 3 chests on the climb instead of the 2 that were in logic. I mean, we can get all 4 of them regardless, but I mean, logically, is at some point we stop paying attention to that anyway.
Right now, I'm pretty sure these runners both just want to figure out where the progression items are. At least where we need 4 more big keys or something like that. Once they get a big key, they can just go to that dungeon, right? And then that's at least the next piece of the breadcrumbs at this point.
Yeah. So no, if you're Zelga right now, you're looking for an ice rod and you're looking for some big keys in here. Other than that, you're not gonna be finding pretty much anything. I mean, you might get something nice like silvers or butter sword to make the game just super easy, but we're not quite there yet. As Boulder is continuing to just run into everything.
He's got red mail. I'm sure he'll be fine. and he's got 14 hearts now, contrary to the 6 or 7 he ended up having earlier when he was in Mire.
Right. So I mean, he's in no danger at this point. I say cautiously, not by no means jinxing that.
Dude, okay, so thanks. At least Zelda was nice enough to pick up a compass along the way, so we can count along. In Pod with him. But I'm pretty sure the first 6 items he's gotten is I don't know, 2 of them were maps or something like that. has not been very useful.
No, we're not finding a whole lot back here, but I mean, we are still. I mean, at this point, you just kind of assume everything's in logic here. If you've got 5 keys, everything's in logic back here, right?
Yeah, that is true. Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the stuff that's locked behind 6 keys, you go, yeah, no, that's still in logic right now. I just haven't found the other one yet.
I think. Oh, all right. So is that all 4 GT smalls?
That's all 4 GT smalls. You know what we need to do, right?
Yep. Time to go back. Well, Zelda really needs that Kate of Samaria.
Oh.
Oh. Well.
I mean, that opens up 2 things. I mean.
Yeah, that is not the big.
Cool.
Actually, I guess I don't even know how Zelda would feel if he finds the big key to Eastern, right? So I guess we don't even know if something's on Armos. Would a big key be enough to motivate him to go back to Eastern, knowing that it's a pendant on his side?
I mean, he's skipped it for such a long time here, and at this point, he's running out of other places to go. He found Eastern probably within the first 15 minutes of the seed, and we're now an hour and 40 minutes late. It's now an hour and 40 minutes in, and we're just kind of sitting there going, I don't know what he's gonna do next. Honestly.
I can't believe out of the 12 items that we ended up getting out of Pod, the best thing that we found was a small key to GT, which basically just told him, hey, there are other things that are technically now in logic. Like nothing else.
We did get the Turtle Rock big. I mean,
that's true.
You got the Turtle Rock big, but yeah, no, your point still stands. Just because the Turtle Rock big at the moment does almost nothing.
We can get the big chest, which Zelda did find the entrance to, but we don't have an ice rod, so we can't kill Trinex. Speaking of the ice rod,
ice rod.
Why not just we need the ice rod? Why not just find it in Turtle Rock, right?
Yeah, that's easy. It's the easiest place to find it, just right there in the front. I mean, that's tradition in this game. I mean, that's what we do. You get your ice rod out of the front. Okay, so it turns out that Turtle Rock big key kind of a big deal because that opened up the big key to Thieves Town as well.
That's probably our best option right now in terms of item density because we can get 4 more items in the back, right? Outside of the climb, of course.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm not going to be shocked if it turns out that this climb is just a giant tease as we get a small key to Desert Palace. So
that is 2 more checks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's this time of a Crosskey seed. Okay, Boulder's about to do the thing where he's going to get his mitts, so this is good for him.
It's going to be very good, yes, because we know that Pod, as we saw on Zelda's side, is where Turtle Rock front is, and absolutely necessary because Pod is crystal today.
Nice and smooth over on Boulder's side. That Hera pot directly up there. And okay, so we're gonna go check Mimic Cave over on this. Now this has got to be, I mean, are we gonna go into Eastern now? I can't think. Zelga's really going into Eastern now, is he? Because he'll go to Thieves next, won't he?
That's what I actually thought because Thieves is a crystal. He knows
Thieves is up here, right? Thieves is up here. Never mind. Yeah. All right, so Boulder's got his mitts, and now he's got to try to figure out that I need to go up to the top of Turtle Rock as quickly as possible here so I can get to Pod, so I can get my other big keys.
I would also like to say that Zelda, with his super speed, did not end up jumping, off the mountain, which happens more often than you might think.
Oh, it's a bad feeling when it happens, though. God, it's a bad feeling. But yeah, okay, so Boulder's gonna go ahead. He's gonna eliminate a couple of the things that we saw Zelga eliminate a second ago. Find out that Zora is completely useless.
Yeah, I think Zora Ledge had a heart container, and then Zora had himself $50. So yeah, totally.
Yeah, something like that, right? So okay, now we are missing the Pod big key. That's all we're missing.
Between our 2 runners, yes.
Between our 2 runners,
yes.
Yeah. Between our 2 runners, we're missing the Pod big key.
Oh yeah, so speaking of, I totally forgotten about this, but I guess Swamp Palace is also open now, because we have the small key.
That's true. Both runners have it.
My butterscotch. But I'm sure these guys would love to not have to dip Pendant Swamp for any reason at all. But if we are running out of location, I guess I'm kind of curious to see, between Pendant Swamp and Pendant Eastern, what, let's say from Zelga's perspective, what's more tempting?
Yeah, what do you want to do? Pendant Swamp, Pendant Eastern, or the GT Climb? Which one do you want to do?
Which one do I want? One is an absolute term, right?
Yeah.
Relative?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my problem there is I look at those decisions and you go, well, all of these options stink. I mean, at that point you probably end up going with the density play because you'll look at a swamp and you'll go, well, it's not just 10 items today, it's the green pendant, so it's 11 items. Probably is the right play, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, then, if you go into Swamp early, Swamp keys too.
Oh, fun. Oh, fun. Let's go to the basement of Hera.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is of all small keys to see, that is not the one that you want to see at this point. I would much rather see, a small key to Pod or something like that over that key.
Okay, and Boulder is back up on the mountain here. He's heading through this connector, I said. I'm trying to remember exactly where does this connector end up again. I do not recall, unfortunately, but he's headed somewhere. Zelga is dealing with blind at the moment here. Nice scripted fight, taking this out. Looks like everything is generally on script here. Oh, right.
I
That
mean,
kicks you out at the top here.
Yeah, well, he also even made good use of that fire shield. I think I heard the shield clink like 3 times or something.
Well, I have to tease him about that. And Boulder, yeah, the again, making up a lot of time with these decisions to come up to the Turtle Rock location up here. He's gonna find Pod. He's still behind Zelga. You know, he just, wow, that's a
Oh, that is.
Oh, that was a moment right there.
It's just a memory lapse at that point. You know, unfortunately for Boulder, he also is not going to come in here with the pod big key, and you know, he is going to be able to clear out like a ton of stuff. Actually, according to our trackers, he only has 4 pod keys. He might be a bit more conservative than with his routes.
Ooh, if he's only really got 4 pod keys, then he might have that really awful decision of big key chest or harmless hellway, and harmless hellway is 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
Play.
Because that was where our turn off big key is, and we know that ends up blocking the theme sound big key, and of course on the right side we ended up finding our last pod key.
Yeah, this is and Zelga going ahead, going back into Desert Palace there, checking those 2 chests, finding the 6th pod key. So Zelga now has all of this into logic. And I don't know. I don't envy these runners at this point, because like, you know, you're at this is about the time that you know the quality of runners of this tournament. You know that there's a very good chance that your opponent is very close to finishing. Now, you don't have any idea exactly what they've been doing this entire time. They might have just completely had one of the worst days of their life and things are terrible. They might be on Ganon right now. You just don't know. But so you're extremely nervous at this point, because you're just trying to be like, everything's okay, and you just don't know. So you're making these decisions, and every one that doesn't work out just makes you feel worse.
Yeah, that is very correct. And of course, you know, like just like right now, right? Zelda is faced with the decision of, am I going to do Pendant Swan, which he has chosen to do over Pendant Eastern, over the GT climb, right? You know, and it's like, do you know where the items are? Of course you don't, right? But you know, if you end up making a wrong decision, it can just eat at you, right? Because like, oh, what if my opponent, you know, decided to go into, well, in this case, Pendant Eastern early, and he got the King of Samari, or he got the pod big, right? And it's just like, oh, and yeah, as you said, you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty common refrain from, if you're watching Crosskeys runners at about this point, if you're listening to them on their stream, there's usually a talk of, well, I'm dead, and a lot of times they're not actually dead, but God, do you feel dead?
It certainly feels that way.
So Boulder is still got 3 keys in the back here, so that leads me to make me think that he's gonna be opening up this this other chest down here in Harmless Hellway. So that's that would be good news for him.
And actually, looks like Zelda is gonna commit to left side swamp early on. We did actually see him make a very clean dash on the north side of swamp, actually opting to not do compass chest at the time. So setting up, looks like what's going to be a faster version of Diver Down. Basically, he's going to do Dive Down, in this case normally, and then when he just screen transitions, he's going to have the bomb explode, and it's going to hit the switch. Alright, as soon as he hops down, we're good.
Yeah, a weird thing with that is, like, occasionally if you do the bomb Diver Down, you'll actually get pushed like 1 pixel too far to the right. So you have to nudge yourself back left just a smidge to be able to jump back down. It's a weird thing. The first time it happens to you, you're like, oh god, I got stuck, and you're like, no, just tap left, and you're fine.
Tapping left seems to be very important these days. You know, Herapod, especially. That's a pretty hefty price to pay if you don't tap left.
It's kind of crazy how that works here. So Zelga's left side swamping right now. Still not finding anything here. Probably best case. Well, that's a silver arrows on left side swamp.
I think think if you ask Zelda, like, would you do left side swamp for silvers at this point, he probably would say no. But I mean, at this point, once you've already committed to it, you're certainly much happier to see that instead of like another like 20 rupees or something like that.
Oh yeah, if you get like the single rupee over there, you just you say a bad word at the game, you call it a name, and then you keep going. But so far, yeah, Swamp, surprisingly, unsurprisingly, not having really anything here. We kind of... There's probably a pretty good chance that we're going to see an Eastern Palace Big Key here turn up sometime soon.
Well, I mean, we only know that swamps, that swords are in swamp, so given that we already have all 4 on Zelda's side, so maybe he's not too optimistic about this. Speaking of single rupees.
Alright, that was a chest too early.
Very valuable big key to swap earlier.
Yeah, it just, the junk fills are junk fills a lot of times, and it's yeah, I mean, that's the junkiest item of all of the junk, pretty much.
Zelda, I mean, for not having the King of Samaria, which I think, like a lot of runners I would dare to say have kind of like gotten used to having the cane, right? So the fact that Zelda still looks very well practiced, no rust on these like bomb setups, right? Bomb Herapod, bomb diver down, actually looks very clean execution wise.
Oh yeah, I mean, generally the setups kind of similar from doing the Samaria one, but yeah, the bomb one, there's a time limit on it, and that's the biggest problem there. Like versus doing it with the Samaria. Samaria, you can take your time a little bit and set it up a little bit better, but yeah, the other way you can't. Okay, so now Boulder is back into TR, so he's going to be able to grab a couple of things here that we didn't see. Most importantly, he'll be able to kill Trinex.
Right, yeah. And we're still reminded, almost the 2-hour mark, Boulder has still not gone over to Purify to pick up his lamp. Certainly, this dark room, right, is going to be by far the easiest one he's had to do, like, the entire game.
Alright, Zelda takes down Argus, gets a whole fat lot of nothing, and is gonna get a green pendant here. So Sasharologist is sitting right there next to Sank in Kakariko, so there's a very good chance we're gonna go there pretty soon, just to see if that entire 5 minutes spent in that dungeon was a complete waste of time.
He did get silvers out of it.
He got silvers.
Yeah, so he can save like 45 seconds on Ganon or something, 30 seconds. Oh, right, actually, I was gonna say is 5. Oh no, 5-6 for Pyramid is Pyramid is also not available. But we already know that entrance because Zelda came out of it. So not going to be important for us today.
Right. Well, now
right, yeah.
So we're gonna get dueling items over here. Boulder's gonna get a crystal with this item, but we're gonna see which one of if either of these has got our pod big key, because that's all we need to know what's going on for the rest of the game.
At this point, I'm just even wondering if Boulder is ever going to get the lamp, like before he finishes the seed.
Yeah, considering where those silvers are, I kind of hope he does, as Zelda shows that his item there in Aga Tower is completely useless. There's 50 rupees at this point. He's got more than enough money, so yeah, that's kind of a thing. And Boulder, what's he gonna get?
We're back in Hera, triple dipping. Oh, but we have a big key too. Well,
that's bad. Or good, or bad, or
yeah, we don't know. So for Boulder, it's certainly not going to be a bad thing, right? Because he still has he's got the bow. He can always just go put out Armos, but man, the fact that the big key to Eastern is sitting on Trinex, man, what's going to motivate Zelda to go back to Eastern?
That's a big question there, and I think are we finally? No, we're not gonna go. No, I guess not. All right, I was about to say, are we finally gonna get a pet check at this point?
Zelda has been over there for like 7 or 8 times by now, and Boulder is, probably not too far behind him at like 5 or 6.
I mean, they've had every opportunity in the world to check it at this point. So, I don't know. As Zelda goes down there, he picks up another key to Turtle Rock. He's getting more and more into logic right now, but it's not really being helpful.
Yeah.
Boulder, on the other hand, he's about to go open up hammer. No, he's not. He's gonna forget about hammer pegs, which is kind of disastrous because he's gonna do smith chain first and then do hammer pegs. Okay, this might work. This will be okay then.
I think this is reasonable. Did we? I assume we saw Zelda do purple chest. I guess I'm just trying to remember.
Don't mirror there. Don't mirror there. Don't mirror there.
Oh no, he's gonna mirror on top of the kid.
Oh, he's close. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
It was like just that is very dangerous there. I was getting very worried that he was gonna mirror on top of the kid because it's basically almost a soft lock.
You can advance 1 frame at a time, I believe. But that's after 10 dialogue boxes.
It is so that is the worst place to do it. At that point, you just start slamming select and hope that you can get a save and quit in there because or else you're in rough times there.
The pod big key might be up here. We don't have very many other options left. But if the pod big key is on Armos or something, right? It's gonna be well, I mean, certainly at this point it's gonna be a last location for Zelda.
I'm gonna be completely honest. If it turns out that the pod big key is on the pedestal this entire time,
that's true.
Both of these runners just decided, you know what? I got the book 3 minutes into the seed, and then I just decided, forget it. I'm never gonna check it, even though I was over there 17 times. Yeah. I'm gonna laugh
you're right.
at them.
It's totally on the runners at that point. It's like the game's like I gave you everything you needed. What else can I ask you? What else are you gonna ask me for?
It's so hard. It's so hard to see at that point that you just if that's the way that is. That's one you just kind of shrug your shoulders and just go, well, yeah, I made a mistake. Boulder, you don't need to kill this guy anymore. You've already killed Trinex. You don't need this key for anything.
Maybe he thinks his turtle rock keys will appreciate with value over time.
I mean, if this was retro and you could use that key anywhere, I mean, sure, totally. Oh God, nice room there from Zelda.
that fire shield, man, is paying off for Zelda. All right, silver Slammo too. Looks like a really good, nice setup on Zelda's side. We actually might be seeing some Bow Wiz robes as Zelda is switching over because somebody doesn't have the Key of Samaria yet.
We're still looking
Zelda
for that.
this could be actually some really nice execution on Zelda's side. Nice job.
All right, I gotta learn that because I mean, to be honest, if that was me, I'd just pull out the Ether Medallion and just blast him. But yeah, that was quite nice on his side. So probably from Boulder, we're gonna see him go ahead and finish off Thieves Town, and then we're gonna kind of be in the same sort of awkward situation of where is this pod big key? Is it if the pod big key is at the top of this tower, then we're still in a very kind of I probably a decent location there for Zelda, because I mean at some point he's just gonna be like, I gotta go into Eastern Palace. There's nothing else I can do. At the moment though, there's the pod big key. Found it.
Right. Of course,
right.
From Zelda's perspective, we are still looking, for Samaria. We're still looking for. There's one more thing we're looking for. And of course the ice rod, right? So he's gonna certainly check the rest of these.
He got the visual glitch. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's. I was like that door should be open. We are just finding more and more compasses as we go.
Oh man, yeah. And so at this point, we know everything here. So for Boulder, man,
Perfect.
he's in for as rough of kind of mid game as he kind of did, especially with what happened in Misery Mire. If he comes out of this immediately goes and climbs GT, he's in really good shape.
That is actually a good point. Because Zelda, of course, is headed straight over to Pod. Eventually headed over to Pod because that's going to be another crystal that he can clear. Actually, where is Zelda left going to go?
Zelda right now. He's headed back up to Pod. He's going to go finish off Pod. He's going to get the 2 items here. Now for Zelda, that's not a terrible thing either because Eastern is on the other side of the mountain, and to be completely honest, after this, he's going to have nothing else.
Yeah,
So
I am trying to think, like, because everything else at this point is Samaria locked, right? Because he can't get to right side GT. And he can't get really anywhere else in Turtle Rock because we need Samaria.
right now for
And
Zelda,
he can't go kill the boss.
yeah, he has to go in there, get Samaria, finish Meyer, and he's gonna have to go to the front entrance of Turtle Rock, which is at the witch's hut right now. So that flute's gonna come in big handy for him because he can just flute immediately there. When he does that, he'll hit go mode. Now for Boulder, he's got a good 3-minute climb ahead of him if that's his next decision, and that's the key, is if that's his next decision.
I guess I'm also curious if Zelda, once he picks up the Cane of Samaria from Eastern, that he is going to be tempted to go back to the right side GT. Because there are 4 items there, and, you know, for all he knows, you know, that is going to be a pretty good, like, item dense location.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, this is going to get really interesting because Boulder's got Tofile is pointing out there in chat that Boulder has got Swamp left, and he's got left side GT still, so he hasn't even been there. Now, for him, he might decide that I'm not going to climb, I'm going to bait on Swamp. You know, I don't know there. This is not a fun decision to make for either of these runners, I think, so.
Yeah, when your initial options were, do I want to climb GT, or do I want to dive pin in Eastern, or do I want to dive pin in Swamp, like, you know, one of the, like, from all of these already, like, pretty bad decisions, and you just have to make the least bad one, right?
Right. And so that is going to be crystal number... Yeah, crystal number 6 over on Boulder's side. That's going to be crystal number 5 over on Zelga's side. So Boulder has actually jumped into the crystal lead here. Well, fairly recently.
Yeah, that powder would have been really useful, actually, for Boulder when he was in Meyer.
Well, he's got it now. But yeah, either way, we are now off. And where are you going, Boulder? This is the question. So fluting to 3.
Okay, so,
and
I mean,
heading up, this is GT.
This could be, yeah, this could be Bonk Rocks here, and which is where GT is.
Okay, so yeah, this is going to be really good for Boulder here. But he's going to be checking the left side first, and now we're into a race for who gets to their last item first. Like, Boulder really only has to do one thing. He needs to do left side, and he still needs to climb. He needs to not get tempted to go to...
Are we climbing?
This looks like a climb immediately.
Okay. Interesting. Like, I guess maybe he just wanted to check the torch item, or, you know, maybe he just always intended to climb first, but, you know, maybe it's something on the torch that was very convenient. He could have gotten it.
Yeah, no, I'm very surprised here that he just was able to just nail this decision. He's been making decisions like this for the better part of the last, I don't know, the last like 30 minutes, where like
yeah.
This has been really impressive here. This is
Zelda apparently is, you know, Eastern Palace is like the plague, you know, to him. He just wants to social distance his entire way through, and, you know, doesn't have any vaccines or anything. We're just never gonna go back to Eastern Palace, I guess, unless it's like the absolute dead last location for Zelda.
Well, I mean, it's got to be it now. So I mean, he's gonna go there right now,
that's true.
right?
Yep. Almost.
No,
Almost,
gonna.
apparently.
Where on earth is he? Oh, he's gonna go check.
Magic Bat, yeah.
Zelda, come on, man.
Yeah, we got Spike Cave. You know, we got Magic Bat. What other long checks did we have? I guess we just fire.
Yeah, this is I'm kind of wondering with AA right now if this is what's happening. We're seeing both runners trying to just decide that, oh wait, the other guy hasn't finished yet. Oh, it must be something completely silly.
Oh man, that would be so bad.
And it's not. It is the most obvious thing. I mean, I've been guilty of doing this in the tournament where I've decided that my opponent hasn't done this one thing. I'm not doing that entire thing. I decided I was not going to climb no matter what, and I lost by a minute. So, I mean...
I remember that. Oh man, is this going to be the Eastern Palace play for Zelda?
This is the Eastern Palace play,
alright. Okay, Zelda is finally on the right track. I want to say that Zelda also did not do Title Room in GT, so that could have been another option, but maybe he just figured it wasn't there, or he just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, no, and to be completely honest, Zelga, this is probably way too late for Zelga at this point, because it's the second chest in here. He's gonna get his thing, but he's still looking for Ice Rod. So he's gonna have to make the decision that, oh yeah, I gotta leave this now. And yeah, I don't know if he does that.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is true, because this is Mario right here. What is Zelda gonna do?
Alright, he's out.
He's out. Alright, where are we going? I guess maybe he's gonna go into Turtle Rock?
Well, probably first thing would be Mire, and Mire's not a Mire's a long dungeon, unfortunately. Like, it's not a short one. And then if he flutes to 2, gets Ice Rod, that's pretty quick, because I mean Laser Bridge is also fairly fast. Now Boulder, he's just got to open this one chest and mirror out, and then he's in go mode. So Boulder's at go mode at 207.50.
Amazing, amazing.
So this after all of this, it really does look like Boulder's gonna be the one to take this game too, unless something kind of crazy happens here. He's going to run down, he's going to take probably the Hyrule Castle connector to get up to Dark Death Mountain, go through Turtle Rock, go kill Helmasaur, and then that'll kind of be it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you make a very good point, because all Boulder has left is basically to clear out Pod, and then he can just go to Ganon.
Yeah, I mean, Zelga's still got to find that dang Ice Rod on top of everything. So I mean, this is kind of looking like after everything, after that just really rocky Misery Mire with basically the accidental mirror and the death in the dark rooms back there. Since that time, Boulder has just made like correct decision after correct decision, and it's pretty. It's been. I mean, for someone who looked pretty dead in the middle of this race, to where he is now, this has been really, really impressive.
Well, he's not done with Dark Rooms yet. I mean, he has a Fire Rod. At least it'll make the Turtles room significantly easier. But I guess. I don't think we're gonna see that lamp today on his side.
Yeah, no, you got a good point. Not gonna see that lamp. Also, probably not. He's gonna have Master Sword, not Master Sword. He's gonna have Butter Sword Silverless. I mean, not likely that he messes that up. You don't expect any runner at this level to really mess it up. It does happen. It does happen.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
But you don't expect it. Zelga's might be within the realm of around a Ganon fall, depending on how quickly he gets to this Ice Rod.
It's a tough decision for Zelda, right? Because he's got at least a couple options open to him, and I'm not really sure if there's one that's like significantly more appealing to him than the other, right? Like, we know he needs to go to the front of Turtle Rock and get his Ice Rod out of Roller Room, but he has to make that decision first.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to not choose to go to GT, which is so much closer, honestly. Yeah. Like, you're right here, you dash up.
This looks like where he's going, too.
Right, you dash up to Bonk Rocks, and that's where you're gonna go. After that, you probably hope you go up towards that area, but at the moment, we got Boulder walking into Helmasaur right now. This is, once he takes him down, this is gonna be his 7th crystal. I gotta imagine we're gonna see Zelga even put the time in to do Tile Room here too. So that's gonna be another minute.
You are absolutely correct. You know, Zelga's done 2 tile rooms in this game. Oh no, he still looks like he's gonna skip. I guess I'm curious now to see if he decides to. He will eventually decide to go back into this.
Well, that is crystal number 7 for Boulder, so all he's got to do is get himself over to Hyrule Castle area, and that is where we're going to find the pig today. And once we take him down, assuming we take him down, that's going to be game. We're going to push ourselves to a game 3.
We're going to get a game 3, yeah. So I guess, you know, at the end, it looks like, you know, the viewers are always the winners.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So if you forget about who cares about these runners who've been, you know, at this for, you know, over 2 hours, you know, putting on such a great show for us, you know, and playing their hearts out.
Yeah, this has been a ton of fun to watch here. It's been just a crazy seed so far, as we are watching right now Zelga just going ahead and doing tile room, hiding in the doorway to get rid of the little bunny beam first, but Boulder is jumping into Ganon right now.
Yeah, so of course with Gold Sword, you know, phases 1 and 2 are going to be no problem for him. He can literally just slash his heart away, and then it is 12 more spins after phase 3, where you know, assuming Ganon decides to stop moving at some point, to finish the seed up relatively quickly.
Yeah, with that half magic and the cape there, he's just deciding, you know what, I'm just gonna play this as safe as possible right now.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, you know, no silvers, you know, means that he does, you know, it would be nice to get torches, but yeah, half magic, like, you know, it's gonna make this fight super simple.
And I'm pretty sure that even on top of this, he's got this now. Zelda making the right decision. So. I mean, if something terrible happens over here on Boulder's side, he's about to get into the spin to win part of this on phase 4. Zelda is a second away from getting his Ice Rod, and beating Shrinex in Crosskeys is quick. We'll have to see exactly what happens there. He's probably 2 falls away though. Oh, and he misses Torch Clutch.
No
okay,
torch
so
clutch.
This is where it's gonna start getting hairy.
Alright, so missing Torch Clutch from a magic perspective, especially, you know, the fact that Boulder has another green potion is not the big deal. The big deal is that you don't have enough time now in order to get basically triples. You are, you know, pragmatically at best, you're gonna get 2, and then you have to go light the torches again.
Oh, that almost looked like he took it.
Yeah, I assume he let go of the controller at that, or whatever, the D-pad at that point, because you really can't move. You just have to kind of like let Ganon, you know, hit you, if that's the case, and just not holding directions.
So far, it's been getting pretty able to do it there. He's kind of smartly waiting until Ganon's kind of like midway through his teleport there to get the second one. He does that, you can kind of be able to still get doubles on each side here. He's gonna have to burn that green potion right now. It's
okay. It's not like an elixir, you know, in like RPGs. You don't have to save it, you know, post game. Like this is, if you're not gonna use it now, you're never gonna use it in this game. Right.
All right. Still kind of doing it here. We're okay over on Boulder's side.
I mean, just imagine the nerves, right? Because you're on Ganon, right? You miss Torch Clutch. You're trying to, like, you know, spin
the
more.
The timing is killing him right now.
It's you're just waiting for the dot at this point, you know, from your opponent. Oh man.
This is the most intense Ganon fight I think I've ever watched.
All right, that last one. All right, good job. Oh wow! All right, so we landed 12 spins. Yeah, Boulder is holding up the sword. He's gonna wait for this fanfare. Gonna cross the bridge, and he is going to claim first place in our race today. Let's see if we get official time here.
Oh, should pop up in just a second here.
2:15:19. GG's. So close from Zelda. Like, I think Zelda probably like literally full clear the game. I think he didn't get like, I don't know, 3 chests in Eastern or something like that. But Zelda is fast on his way to Ganon, real quick. And of course, with silvers, he should have a significantly easier phase 4 compared to Boulder.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, if Zelga's not nearly over a 200 collection rate, I would be stunned this game.
Yeah, like, normally, normally even hitting that the 26 over 200 collection rate is actually more difficult than you think. But like Zelda did all of GT Basement, he did like all of the dungeons, right? Maybe not like the 3 in Eastern, right, or something. It's just like I just can't imagine where he's had like left items and stuff.
Yeah, that's man, such a wild trick here. It's just, man, just just one thing after another. This race is just, for the longest time there, especially in the middle, it just kind of looked like Boulder was struggling. He was fighting it really hard, and he just kind of, Zelda just decided that Eastern Palace was just not going to be something he was ever going to do this time. And man, that really...
It hurt him significantly in this game.
Yeah, it gave Boulder definitely... I mean, Boulder definitely, he played well enough to get to the end, and in the time that he did, for sure. And so, all credit to him there. Hopefully we'll be able to see him in just a second. He's coming in. Looks like we have both of these guys in the waiting room right now. Zelda goes ahead. He takes down Ganon here. Get your GGs into chat for him as well.
Mm-hmm. No, these guys ran like a superb race, right? Very, very close. Official time of 2:17:17. Oh, looks like we have both our runners. GGs, guys.
Yeah, GGs.
So let me guess, because I feel very happy that I rewatched our race from the other night and learned that you don't like doing Eastern Palace without the big key. With Samaria, what kind of won me that, I guess, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, that's probably a fair guess. Doing Eastern was my literal hard last location. I was intending to do it when I first got up the mountain, and I found the spec rock connector, and I just went ahead and followed that instead. Otherwise, I would have gone into Eastern this time because it was kind of a bad location. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole story.
Is that a fair assessment to make, commentary team? Was
yeah.
Eastern kind of okay?
Yes, that was actually one thing that we potentially thought about was, if you were trying to set some variance between you and Zelda. Zelda is I would say quite vocal about his opinion towards Eastern Palace.
Yeah, so I learned on Sunday watching a race.
No. Well, go ahead. Sorry, bud.
Oh, I was gonna say, other than making a few good plays, I felt like my execution was just top tier, best in the world. I'm the greatest at this game, right?
We couldn't see any of it, by the way. So if you just claim that your execution was top tier, we'll believe you.
I'm being very sarcastic there, Zelda. I died I mirrored once out of back of Mire without lamp, then died again back there, and it was not a fun Mire, but I guess I full cleared it first try, not first try, but I didn't double dip it. Sorry, nerves are still a little getting to me a little bit.
Oh, of course, but that was a heck of a race that you put on there. Yeah, one of the big things that really helped you out there towards the end was you didn't double dip dungeons. Zelda found a lot of dungeons before you, but it also meant that he went into Mire twice, went into Ice Palace twice. Anything else I'm missing there?
Let's see. I did Hera 3 times.
Both of you. Only you did 3.
Well, technically I did it 3 times because I went in, tried to do hook shot or pot and failed, and decided to come back later, and then came back later and actually got it.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it was 4 for me, because there was the very first time when I had nothing, then the 2 chests, then hook shot for the boss. Actually, no, it was 5 times. I went into Hera 5 times. Good stuff.
And it was super, well, I guess like the second to last time was useful. You got the mitts, right? Other than that, and you got the temper sword off the boss. So it's just that the big key chest wasn't very useful.
Yeah, like I said, I initially intended to go into Eastern, but by the time that I was getting around to it possibly being a decent option again, it was getting to the point I felt like I had to just hard commit that this time there actually is nothing in Eastern, and it's not just a meme. So I mean, as soon as I found Samaria, I bailed, but entering Eastern was literal hard last location in the game.
Was that a hard decision to make there, Zelga, though? Because you were still looking for Ice Rod. Were you tempted to keep going, or did you just say, you know what, forget it, this opens too much?
I briefly considered it, but I just felt like it opened too much, so I had to go for it.
I think that's fair, right? Because after that, you had, I don't know, I guess you had two more chests, right? You had Compass chest, which was pretty easy, and then you can get like, and you can get to Vanilla Key chest, which could it would take a little bit of one time.
So did we ever actually see the lamp? Kind of curious.
Zelda saw the lamp very early, in fact.
Do you want to know?
When I mentioned that whole spec rock thing, when I was talking about going into Eastern. If you bomb jump it and go across to the Pyramid Ferry entrance, which is where the other side of Spec Rock is, you can get your lamp from the Pyramid Ledge.
Okay. That never made it to the pyramid.
Well, we realized that after we didn't see any of the dark rooms that you were attempting.
Well, I wish I could have seen at least that Myra one. That's by far the hardest in the game, in my opinion. Well, that may or may not be true. As far as the ones that I feel comfortable doing, that's the hardest dark rooms I do.
Well, gotcha. There, Boulder. There's a question in chat there. That's actually an excellent question there. At the end of the game, there, you're pod big key from go mode, right? And you go up to GT, and you had the entire left side of GT open. You also had the climb open. You decided to do the climb first. There. What made you make that decision?
I've honestly thought I lost and so far behind that I'm like, the gamble I need to make, and if I'm wrong, I mean I probably have already lost, but if I'm right and am able to skip all of left side, it does save some time. And it wasn't hard to get back to GT, so it's like if nothing popped up in the climb, I was immediately going back to do left side. May not be the best overall routing decision, but it was a gamble that I felt like I had to take at that point.
I mean, to be 100%, it worked out for you. It worked out for you real well.
Yeah, and I hope you guys are gearing up for a Game 3 matchup then. You know, both of you are still very much alive in this tournament, but I think we've got one more match between the two, which will be all the marbles so far.
I'm just happy I took a single game from Zelda. He's such a great runner. He's honestly one of the first people when I first got into Rando. I watched the tiebreaker race from, what was that, the 2017 main tournament where he fake powdered, basically gets the lead.
The Key Sanity tournament. Yeah, I remember that.
The Key Sanity, or something like that. So I've always seen him as a great runner. So the fact that I'm here on a restream, able to pick up a game from him by pure dumb luck, mind you, but hey, that's Rando.
I would not say this was pure dumb luck. I mean, it sounds like you made a lot of good plays in the end, even if like you don't feel good about the execution. I mean, if you made the plays, and that's really what matters here. So there's nothing to be ashamed about or anything like that. Just GGs.
You had a really nice bow whiz ropes in GT, Zelda.
Thanks. I've sadly had a lot of practice with that lately because I can never find the stupid cane.
Well, look at Eastern, I guess.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
Well, with any luck, it looks like we will be be able to get a stream for Game 3 between you two there. It looks like you guys got a Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern there, so hopefully we'll be able to get that together there. There's another game going on at the same time, so hopefully they can get this Game 3 on for you guys. And definitely looking forward to it.
I do as well, so thank you, Clear Mouse and Dave, for commentary, and I know I'm going to mess up our tracker's name, so I'm going to pass that off to someone that actually knows our tracker's name.
Alright, so I'm good to wrap it up then? Sounds like it. Okay, so thank you to our runners, TheBoulder300 and ZelgaDissan. As stated, they do have their Game 3 on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. EST. We're going to do our damnedest to get that covered. Thank you to our commentators. Names. Why did I just blank all of a sudden? That's
My name's
totally
Days
random.
Cloud.
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you, Days Cloud and Clear Mouse, and
We're
thank you
not
to our
important, don't worry.
and thank you to our trackers Savvy UX and Toffile. Everyone did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Coming up on ZSR, we're actually done for the night. There is a Zelda 2 Randomizer weekly race happening over on the main channel. We're going to go raid them in a moment. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Wednesday, we have another Link to the Past Randomizer Crosskeys match between Lin and Julo Ninja. And at 6 p.m. tomorrow, we have another match between Scoople and Goomba. So be on the lookout for those. And at 7 p.m., sorry, I almost missed this one, we have Wall Kicks versus T-Stew 14, Game 2. So lots of Crosskeys action tomorrow. Thursday as well, we have Bread versus Humbug at 2 p.m. Eastern. Ace Slayer versus Kaizo Bro at, nope, that's Majora's Mask, at 3 p.m. Eastern. And alongside TheBoulder300 and zelgadissan's Game 3 at 8:30 p.m. EST, we also have ALttPR and Days Cloud. So very hype matches this week. Lots of Crosskeys action going on. Hope you all find something you want to watch. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time and have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye!